I know your history page is worn and worn, the edges slightly torn. They play emotions like a sample for the trend. Yeah, I build with purpose, something that won't end. Yeah. They hit your line with the you up text, bare minimum love, expecting the rest. I see the difference, ain't no contest. They chase attention, I chase respect. They give you rain, I build you shelter. They run for fun, I stand in the weather. Over here, it's love every day. Over here, while they switch lanes, I remain right here. It's love every day. Over here, they give you maybe, I give it clearly. It's love. Over here. They buy flowers, then less. They love the story, the camera, the flex. I love the quiet, no need for excess. They chase the highlight, the digital glow. I love the real things nobody may know. When you're with me, no trophy show. Just steady ground where good things grow. They give you doubt, I give you peace. Love every day. Over here, they give you maybe, I give you clearly. Over here, every day. Over here, it stays. I'm right here, no maybe, hey, just clear. Love over here. I ain't here for the temporary. You quick text, the love that's secondary. I'll build with hands, with time, with care. No flash in the band, real love, rare. They want the photo, the moment, the scene. I want the life in between, the quiet lights, the honest talk. The kind of love that lies to all. No games, I stay stealthy, they change names. I stay private, they chase fame. Over here, I know your history page in the wall. Promises faded, edges torn. They play emotions like a passing trend. I build with purpose, something that won't end. They hit your line with late night text. Even more effort, expecting a rest. I see the difference, no contest. They chase attention, I chase respect. Over here, it's love every day. Always late, I didn't stay. It's love every day. Oh, they get maybe, I get clearly.
Yo, what's good, everybody? What's good, man? It's your man, DL Saint. And that is from the Lost in Translation podcast, guys. That is from the Lost in Translation podcast. You got to give me a hand for that. Go over there, subscribe, support my brother Lost over there, man. Let me drop the link. There it is right there. Drop the link. You know what I mean? Look at man, Jill, like, hurry up and start the show already. Man, we got to get brother Lost his due, man. He be making it happen. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. It's time for us to do our thing, man. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me earlier. And tonight, man, we're going to talk about hitting the wall, Modern day cat ladies, bro. We gotta talk about this, man. We gotta talk about it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Get some indeed, man. Appreciate y'all coming to check the brother out on a Saturday. I know y'all got better places to be, but y'all right here, put on these ZV1. Man, how y'all feeling? Happy Saturday. I'm happy. I'm in the mood because my daughter decided to stay home this weekend. She just like, all right, I'm just gonna stay. Just cool. But that's why we got all the glitching going on, because I'm competing with her playing her video games. So, there's that. I mean, there's always something. We're gonna see if we can get through this. I'm looking at the live feed. Hopefully we can get this in the way of glitching out there. But until I hold a Viking paradigm and find out what I gotta do to get that fixed, we're gonna have to deal with it. I'm looking at it now, it's pretty bad. Yeah, she's back there playing her game. So man, I might not even be able to get through this show. I'm just looking at the glitching, bro. It's really bad right now. I might not be able to get through the show. And we had a really bad storm roll through not too long ago. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I mean, y'all know what it is, man. So let's check the audio one more again. And we had a really bad. Yeah, the audio is working. We're gonna do what we can to push through, guys. We're gonna push through. So there is a lot of talk out there. Dating, the loneliness epidemic for men and women. A lot of talk about hypergamy, a lot of talk about guys being alpha or whatever, about a lot of talk about guys becoming the best version of themselves and all that. And all that's real talk, man. But tonight we're gonna focus in on the sisters and women, just women in general. Just women in general. Because the way the game works, and I'm sure you guys have heard this term before. Women are born with their value inherently. Women are born with value, and men are not. Men have to pretty much earn their value, right? And it takes time generally speaking, it takes time for men to acquire those things that women really value when it comes to, mate selection. But women are pretty much born with what guys are looking for when it comes to mate selection. So, you got this kind of thing where either side is peaking at the different times. So young women, they're peaking when they get into their 20s, mid 20s, they're peaking. Once they hit their 30s, it starts to trend down. Well, guys, it's the other way around. By the time they hit their 30s, mid 30s, and into their 40s, they start to acquire those things that women find most attractive. Those guys become more stable financially. They figured it out. They're calm. They're wise. Right? They're making money. They've made some good moves, and they're starting to get the dividends. So that's right. That part right there is different. Whereas women, they're just, and they get cuter, and then they grow up, and then they're like these beautiful young women, and they get all this attention from all these dudes. And then, if they don't lock in with the guy that they want, by the time that guy is hitting his peak, she's down here, and he gets to choose from the pick of the litter from the other young women. So it's just kind of one of those things. You know what I mean? We got Dr. B in the building. Yes, sir. Man, look. We got to be streaming, man. 2026, I'm trying to go hard with it. I'm trying to get on as much as I can. And we're just going to hit all sorts of content. Like we're going to talk about news and what's going on with politics. We're going to be talking about the red pill stuff. We're going to be talking about dating. We're going to be talking about finance. I'll be on tomorrow. We're going to talk. You guys know I've been talking a long time about in America, Americans can't afford America, and talking about, the housing bubble and the everything bubble and all that. Well, it's all starting. It's all starting to hit. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about that. Fox News is talking about it now. All mainstream media is talking about it. And so tomorrow we'll talk about it. And people are like, man, how you know expert and all this? I'm like, I'm not. I'm just a dude who observes. And I'm here to tell you, like Forrest Gump says, I'm not the smartest man, but I know when the math don't work. If the average American household is making less than $90,000 a year, two earners, and like that's the median, and then the median house in America is 400,000, right? That ain't gonna work. There is no math that's gonna get you there, right? The way to get your 30-year fix and all that. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow. But yeah, bro, I'm out here I'm trying to just make it happen. 2026, we're going hard. We're going real hard. Like women's flames burn high, but for a short time. That's right. A woman flame does burn intensely, but it can be for a short time when you're looking at the sexual marketplace and sexual market value. Men's flame burns slowly but goes longer. Yeah, and it takes time. Like women don't necessarily care how attractive a man is. They say they want a tall guy and all this other kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, what they really want is a guy that is going to take care of them, a guy that's caring, a guy that can protect her and the family that they're going to create, and a guy who has means. I mean, just certain things that they're looking for. And then, people will say that, well, women won't even grow with you these days, man. Women don't grow with you. They'll grow with you. If you're what they want, if they fall for you early enough, they'll grow with you. They'll grow with you. But here's the thing, in our society, if something goes sideways or she decides she wants to walk away, she always has that net provided by the government. Go to, kind of file the paperwork, get a divorce, go through the court system, and more likely you're gonna walk away with something. Half of whatever the guy has, half of his retirement, all that kind of stuff. If he was the provider, if he was bringing it in. But that has switched as well. Now women are making money. So if it goes sideways, if she files the paperwork, the dude will walk away with half. So we talk about that a lot over here. And today we're going to get into this. I saw this video. Sham Booty has this video, and she was talking to Melissa Ford. And for those who don't know, Melissa Ford, back in the day, back in the 2000s, she was like one of the top tier video vixens, just a beautiful woman who was on top of the world because of her beauty. All the rappers got her in the video. She's looking good. She's doing whatever. Now she's into podcasting. She's into media. Now she's 50. Back then she was in her 20s. She was peaking, bro. So Shan is talking to her about life choices and where she is, because now you have this woman who was just absolutely gorgeous, stunning, definitely top 1%er when it came to women and having the things that guys want and the men want in her prime. Of course, her prime is way younger than the man coming into his prime. And she never settled down with anyone. She never took that next step. She never got a guy, one of these dudes who had all his money, all his wealth, all his status, all his clout to marry her. Now she's 50, no kids. She's got money. She has a career. She's talking to Shane. I thought it was a pretty good video. Yeah, bro, she's 50. From what I understand, she's 50. So let's pull this video up. Hopefully we won't glitch too much. I got one eye on the live feed. And I was able to download this video. So if I had a downloaded version, we have a prize to you. So here it is. I'm just trying to pull it up, guys. It's like I am glitching. Definitely glitching. But we're gonna get through this. See if it'll come up. All right, I got it here. I just have to share the screen, freezing in and out. Yeah, man. I'm gonna get this loaded up and hopefully it won't freeze. I'm looking at it now. I'm frozen. We're gonna try this, guys, and if this doesn't work, I'm just gonna end the stream and then wait. I'll just push this show to Monday when my daughter will be in school and there's less people around. Hopefully, you know what I mean? Because I really want you guys to be able to see this one. But let's see if I can't get this thing up on the screen. I'm do my best to get this thing up on the screen. Let's see if it works. I'm freezing like crazy. And then hopefully you guys can still hear me. So there we go. And if I look distracted, it's because I'm checking to see you guys can hear me. I don't have a it's just freezing like crazy. There we go. And if I look my bad, it's just sounds good. Okay, cool. Appreciate it. So let's rock with this, man. So we have this video. This right here on the screen. This is Melissa Ford. I mean, still, she is, I believe she's in her 50s. If she's not in her 50s, she's about to be in her 50s. She's about to hit that threshold. Still, and an attractive woman. And this is what you fellas don't ever go up to an older woman who looks good and say, "Hey, you look good for your age." Don't say that, man. If you say that, be ready to fight. That is not a compliment. That she is going to want to beat you up. You know, because women don't like to just say it out right, but they do understand that, like, men, they know men care about youth and beauty, and they understand that. And once that starts to leave, they can't compete like they used to be able to compete. Yeah, it has to bother them. I mean, as an old guy, like, you know, I can't compete with my, you know, like my 18-year-old, 19-year-old self. Like I couldn't go back to the army right now and jump out of an airplane and go on an airborne mission. I wouldn't I would not survive the landing without breaking something. I'm just, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, bro, I have, I believe I have the highest, Mandrell, I have upgraded, and it's something else going on. I'm gonna have to really bring in a tech. Like Viking Paradigm says that he has a fix for this. I'm gonna have to hit him up. But he lives like way up north, so I don't know how I'm gonna work that out. But we got brother Tyrone's in the building. What's happening, man? And I believe once we get it all loaded up and running, it doesn't glitch as much. Right? It doesn't glitch as much. Does I don't think so. So we're gonna try to get through this. But as far as speed goes, I think I got the biggest package that they have down here. Um, I'm definitely gonna go back and talk to them and see and see what's up. And again, it's only like certain times of the day or night when I have the issue the worst. So it has to be some other external factors. But anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. When a woman's beauty begins to fade, she understands it. And I've noticed that the women who are married and they have their families and their kids and everything, it doesn't bother them as much. It might bother them a little bit. And, and they might say something to their husband, like they feel a little insecure or whatever, but they're cool because their husband is there and he'll be like, "You still as beautiful to me as the first day we met," and da da da. And the guy will mean it. Like the guy will absolutely mean it. So, and I think that helps a lot for a lot of women. But if you're that woman who was out there and you were super fine, you were out there doing your thing, you were the top tier woman, you only had the best of the best. These guys trying to, every man was trying to holler at you, but you had access to the very powerful men. Oh shit, man. I'm looking at all this glitching. It's making me mad. Like you had access to all these powerful men, and then that goes away. And there's no one there. There's no man that you were into that you love to have kids with to tell you, like, no, I still love you. You still it. That has to bother you. That has to bother you. And we're on our way. Come 2030, we're on our way to like I'm 45% of women are going to be out there. Like the single women are going to be out there, single and childless. And it's bro. This is this is a problem. This is a problem. And it's, you know, it's starting to hit now. You know, you got like Lisa Ray out there, you have Melissa Ford out there, right? You have all these other like super beautiful women, Tyra Banks. You know, you got all these women who are out there, and now they can't compete. And all the BBLs and all the lip fillers and all the plastic surgery in the world isn't going to help them. And they didn't lock down a dude and they still refuse to be with a guy who has less than they do, that's their choice. That's where that hypergamy comes in there. 45% of all women, 45% of all women are gonna scheduled to be childless and single here in about 4 years or so, a little less than 4 years. And again, this is by choice, because you look at Melissa Ford right now. I refuse to believe that she can't get a man that loves her and wants to be with her until the earth stops spinning. Come on, there are plenty of dudes out there that would love to commit themselves to her today, even like now when she's in her 50s or approaching her 50s or whatever. It's dudes right now that would love to holler at her and be with her. But she's sitting back like, well, I'm just enjoying myself. You know, Jenny Ma, whatever her name is, she's out there taking herself on her own. I'm taking myself out for a date type stuff. Like, yo, like, what are we doing here, ladies? So this video, I want us to watch this video and check this out. If it gets the glitching too bad, guys, tell me, and then we'll push this until Monday. You know what I mean? We'll push this until Monday, but let me know if this video is glitching, if it messes up everything. I won't be highlighting videos, comments until we're done with this, because I think it slows it down. It makes me glitch. But every chat you guys can see, we got that running chat. I'll leave that up on the screen. We got the running chat so you can see everything, man. Solo dates, bro. You're right about that, man. These solo dates are killing me. I didn't know that was a thing. Solo dates. Wow, that's where we are right now. So let's get into this, man. This is Shan Booty and Melissa Ford. And let's dive in. Shout out to Facebook if you guys are watching. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to Facebook. Here we go.
And is child free. What are you gonna do? Like, it might not happen for me in this lifetime.
Toronto was a screw-face capital. There was nobody making it out, and you were one of the small group of people who gave Toronto the reputation of being the place with the most beautiful women in the world.
I've literally had a guy, it literally was a first hang, spend $100,000 on me. I did it. I don't want it. That would be the last thing that I advised a young girl to do, to look at men of means being your saving grace or your safety net.
How would you identify where you're at right now?
My career is thriving right now. My friendship groups are incredible and so fulfilling. I travel a lot. It's the decentering of men. That's really what it is on a large scale.
Hey lovers, my name is Shan Boudreaux, and my favorite quote, the key to happiness is managing expectations. So here's what to expect with this episode. You're going to listen to a conversation between myself and legendary video vixen, award-winning personality and podcaster Melissa Ford around what happens when a woman falls deeply in love with her life and then realizes, well, heck, maybe I don't need romance after all, especially in today's dating climate. You're also going to see some ads in this episode. We need those to help the show grow and to really make an impact. If you enjoyed watching this episode, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit notifications.
So I'm just going to put her on mute while she's going through her intros and all that, man. Because, ladies communicate differently than men. Like I'm listening to her and I'm like, okay, when we going to get to the good part? Get on to the good part. But, Shan Boudreaux or whatever, I mean, this is her thing. Like, she's a sex therapist, I guess. Like, that's her thing. She was out there basically back in the day trying to let women be more open, let's say, with their sex life. Letting women go out here and be more promiscuous. But she's married now, so let's check them out.
And what it should be called today.
I don't know what the name is, but I just know that the focus has shifted, and it's the decentering of men. That's really what it is on a large scale. Women have decentered men and really started to focus and enjoy their lives without feeling like there's a penance for it, or you're gonna get the lonely cat lady label. Shit, don't threaten me with a good time. I want a house full of cats.
Or emus.
You know what I mean? But I think that women are really leaning into decentering men and realizing their worlds don't fall apart.
After we said our goodbyes, I did some research and came up with a term that I want to present to all of you first before you listen to the interview, because I think that will put the interview in the right context for you. Trace Ellis Ross, Maya, Melissa Ford, Chelsea Handler, to name a few. When I think of these kinds of women, I don't think
I'm single. Like, single has connotations. Like, people are like, oh, single. You know, I'm like, they got to worry about me. You know, like, baby, I'm living my best life. Like, I'm cute. I'm outside, sample size, got a little cash, drink a martini. I'm not single. Nah.
I see people who have built amazing lives that are financially stable, socially rich, expansive, creative, and emotionally diverse, whom are pioneering a different kind of love life. And I'm calling this Bething, which is a posture that says, everybody calm down.
Women love to come up with these terms, man. Bething, and she's gonna tie this to Queen Elizabeth. Basically, I don't need no man, and I'm doing fine. Like Lil Shorty was just saying, if you're just fine, like why are you so passionate about saying this stuff, man? Like if everything is fine, like for guys, dudes who don't want to be bogged down or bothered or whatever, them dudes are fine, and they're not on anybody's podcast. They're not making videos. They're not on TikTok. They don't care. Why? Because they're out there having a good time. Right? They might be in Colombia, they might be in the DR, they might be in Brazil, they might be in Thailand, they might be in the Philippines, right? They might be in Poland, they might be in Germany, they might be in Norway, but they are chilling. I bump into these dudes all the time. They in everybody's town. Older guys, maybe they've been, I went through a divorce, man, but it's fine. I'm good now. They went like, I lost a lot of money during the divorce, but I got it all back. I done 10X myself. I'm doing great. They ride around in the car that they want. They got money in their pocket, bro. Credit's on point, got properties everywhere. They're doing the damn thing. Those guys are really cool. And then when you talk to those dudes and you ask them, like, hey, man, you worried about dying alone and being in the house by yourself? It's like, no, I got enough money to hire servants. I can have a nurse follow me around and change my diaper. These dudes be just talking about it, telling you this while they're sipping on a $300 shot of cognac or whiskey or whatever they're drinking. It's like, yeah, you want one? They're like, get him one. These are the dudes that they're living their life. They're having a great time. Women seem to be passionate about it. They get really like in your face with it. This is what I want. And then when the cameras go off and you get to sit down and it's quiet and you just talk to them, that's when the tears come, bro. That's when they break down like, nah, I really did want to be with someone. I really did want to have kids. I really did want to do this, that, and the third. It just didn't work out for me. It's like, well, you got the money. And I never asked this question. You can ask them if you want. It's like, what if you had it all over to do again, would you do it the same way? I never asked that question. I think I know the answer. Now, don't get me wrong. There are women out there who want that life and they cool with that life. There are women out there who are killing it. They're doing the thing. I've had of women who are older, 60s, 70s, husband passed away, widow, they're widows, but they're chilling. How come you never got married? Like, I didn't want to take the time. I was too old. I'm stuck in my ways. I bring and I want them around and I keep them away when I don't want them around. I travel the world. I do my thing. There's some women out there who aren't happy, bro. You know what I'm saying? They aren't happy. But Donald J. DeMarco in the building.
It'll be like,
wrong button. But yeah, guys will get good. Like, once guys figure it out, the biggest thing with the dudes is they really get heartbroken. They get crushed because these guys, and I'm talking about, really fell in love with this woman. They're like, man. And on the other side of that, they're very guarded. They'll keep some good time girls around, or some of these dudes will get into a relationship. They're like, I'll never get married again. But they'll have a woman that, she comes, she joins me on my trip. She'll come and do this. She'll come to the house and clean it out. It's like, we're never getting married. And it's like, yo, did you tell her? Like, yeah, she knows. We're never getting married. Like, then you talk to the woman, like, I'm going to change his mind one of these days. I'm like, we better hurry up, babe, because he's almost 70. So if you're going to change his mind, you better hurry up and change his mind. But let's get back to this new term she created.
I'm fine. I'm not searching. I am very fulfilled in my life, and I'm not willing to reorganize this life or define it to change my relationship status. Don't get me wrong. If something great happens to come along that enhances what I've already built and learned to love so much about my life, amazing.
They all say that. If something great comes along, amazing, that means you're looking for it.
Bad thing is happening during a very specific cultural moment. Today, women earn the majority of college degrees in the US. Nearly 60% of bachelor's and master's degrees go to women. And in many major cities, women under 40 are earning on par or more than their male counterparts. Women are also significantly more likely to engage in therapy and engage in self-development work, while men report higher rates of loneliness and maintain fewer close friendships on average. Obviously, these are broad trends, not universal truths, because there are tons of amazing men everywhere. But it would behoove us to acknowledge that statistically in urban environments, we are now in a time where there are more financially stable, college-educated, emotionally literate women than there are men, making it very difficult to find a partner who is genuinely equally yoked.
So there you go, equally yoked. What are we talking about? We're talking about hypergamy, guys. And it's all good. Women going to want the best. They're going to want guys who are on their level, preferably above their level. And that's basically what hypergamy is. And there's nothing wrong with hypergamy, because I want the best whenever I go out there. And women want guys that they view as the best. You know, someone, you know, like Myron would say, superior than they are. I don't care how you describe it, but there are a lot of women out there who are not going backwards. There are some women out there who don't mind. There's some women out there who will absolutely bring a guy in, doesn't make as much money. She has no problem contributing it and basically being, you know, the breadwinner. She has no problem doing that. There are women out there who are cool with that. Right? They are. Just don't keep it 100 with you. Of the women who do that, some of them don't like it. But a lot of times, you know, in the red pill world, man, you use that broad brush and say all women, you know, are hypergamous and all women will never do this. Like, nah, bro, it's a lot of women out there who will. We're seeing that now. We did that video in New York. You got women paying $100 each to get into dating events, just to get an opportunity to meet one of these guys that they view as, you know, high value. They're paying. Yeah, bro. You know, these women are coming out with these degrees, and it's true. They're coming out with these degrees, but you can go watch the Medium Man. He runs the numbers. Matter of fact, next time we do this, I'll have one of his videos up. Matter of fact, he did a video on this. He runs the numbers, and even though women are coming out with more degrees, they're still not out earning their male counterparts. Some are. Some women are. When you take all the women who are coming out of college, and you take, you know what I mean, like the top third of those women, yeah, they're out earning their male counterparts. You know, women who've gotten into law, women got that kind of stuff. Yeah, they're out earning their male counterparts. But when you look at the overall picture, there's, you know, overall as a whole, women, even with these degrees, are not making as much as men in general, because, you know, you got guys out here who are plumbers, electricians, you know, these guys are out here, contractors, they're making money. Right. So it's like $5,000 gap per year within the African American group. You know what I mean? So they are making money. But the thing is, they're up against the clock. They're coming out making that bread. Meanwhile, these dudes, it's taking them a little bit longer, but eventually they're going to get there. And once they get there in their mid 30s, early 40s, these women are going to be like, all right, I'm 45, almost 50. Them dudes ain't trying to start a family with you. He's going to go holler at these young girls. And that's what's going on right now. And nah, none of them degrees are debt free. We know that. We know that. You know what I mean? Donald J. Marco is on point, man. Like it just adds to America's, you know, debt. So, but again, this is what a lot of people will say, that this is the dream of feminism. This is what it has promised these young ladies, and they bought in. And it's just, if they don't do something about the hypergamous part of the equation, then they're gonna wind up on the other side, you know what I mean, hitting the wall. And it's not that there's not men out there who want to be with them. The men that they want aren't gonna want to be with them long term. They might come over and smash real quick, but they're not trying to start a relationship with them. It's like, you're just too old. As these dudes, like, I'm trying to have a family. Like, it's gonna be hard. You're high risk. You're just too old. So let's keep going.
Now, if this feels uncomfortable to hear from me, Why don't you try listening to John? Yeah, John Berger, this trustworthy looking man graduated from Brown, writes about the stock market, and also wrote a book about this called Datanomics. So I'm calling this Bething as a play on Queen Elizabeth I. Now, I tried different terms like Nzinga-ing or kidding, but what makes Queen Elizabeth I unique and maybe perfect for this role is that not only was she a powerful woman who chose not to marry, she also never had kids. Here's a quick history lesson. Queen Elizabeth ascended to the throne in 1558. Advisors repeatedly pressured her to marry in order to secure alliances and produce an heir. Yet, she understood that a husband could dilute her authority or shift the balance of power within her court. Over the course of her 44-year reign, she entertained suitors, negotiated proposals, and maintained close relationships, but ultimately, she chose to remain unmarried. Her decision was not rooted in incapacity for love, but in a clear-eyed assessment of what marriage might cost her: sovereignty. That posture, open but unwilling to compromise the foundation of her power, is the historical underpinnings of Bething. Now, this is not about being anti-love or anti-man. I love me a man. I also love me a label because that provides
Blah 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 blah. You know what? And here's the thing, guys. We can't be mad because we're not her core audience. Her core audience wants to hear all this stuff. Right. That's what, there's a lot of young women. This is why, guys, a guy, you need to learn how to sit there and listen, pay attention so you can read some of that back to her. When when she says something, you can read it back to her. That's how you get on, guys.
Congratulations on being in the media for how many years now?
Oh, Lord. Well, I feel like I got my first media gig back in maybe 2003 as on-air talent for BET.
Wow.
Yeah. And then in 2007, that's when I kind of started a radio-ish career with Sirius XM. And now I've been podcasting for about 10 years.
Which is an insane amount of time to be talking, sometimes every day. And I, just before this interview started, I had to quickly chat GPT. I was like, has Melissa Ford been canceled? Has she said any shit I need to know about? Are there any tweets? And it was like, no.
No, here's the thing. You can go as far back as forever ago. I never, ever, ever used my social media to air my gripes with people. If anybody is beefing with me, it is a one-sided beef because, honey, no, I'm just, no.
I love that for you. You've been an icon to me for so long. I am a 1985 baby, so I grew up around the time where Toronto was a screw-face capital. There was nobody making it out, and you were one of the small group of people who was making a name for it, who gave Toronto the reputation of being the place with the most beautiful women in the world. So thank you for your work, and I'm happy you're here.
No, thank you so much.
You know what's crazy? Like, Shan is doing her thing. She's been loose doing her thing. She was living her best life, the 304 phase, whatever you want to say. She was banging whoever she wanted to bang, man, woman, anything in between. But she realized at some point, like, this ain't it. I'm going to have to settle down. And that's what she did. She settled down and she started having kids. And she can still go out here and bang whatever she want to do and do all this, but she has a family. And she's sitting here with Melissa, and Melissa is just sitting here. There's going to be a part when they talk about kids. And you're going to see how uncomfortable she is. And Donald J. DeMarco is right, man. Layers and layers of BS, intellectual, right? This cushioning to avoid reality. Yeah. And she's from Toronto, man. That's where Melissa's from. They say she's from Toronto. I didn't know all this until I was doing watching this for my research purposes today. But, bro, well, I think what Shan understands is what the feminist thing did for her. It let her go out here and be loose and do whatever she wants to do. And then she was like, okay, now let me lock down a guy. And she locked down a dude. Let me have some babies. And she's doing her thing. That's the part that a lot of women neglect. That part right there. Like, you're going to have to get these babies. Start your family, do your thing. But some women, they just lock in there, man, because they want a certain type of dude. Like, I gotta have my Prince Charming, and Prince Charming might not want at a certain point.
It was myself, it was X, and then it was all of the video models that I was in, that were involved in the same productions. And it was always so strange how tawdry people kind of assumed that these productions would be, we were like family, you know, when I would see the call sheet and I'd see Sasha and Tanisha and Sarah and Naomi, I was like, oh, it's about to be on. And we're just
giving me DMX and Cisco vibes right there. I love it.
But it was just so much fun. Like we were in it. And that was truly living in the moment. Like I can remember those moments, the depth and the breadth of those moments. I still remember them 20 something years later. They really were fantastic. It was a good time until it became a little bit like, I don't know, a little bit of a rush to kind of get to me. There was men sending bottles over. It turned into a competitive thing. Women were dancing around me, trying to dance on top of me. I'm looking at my people like, what is going on? I'm just like, I think it's the Canadian in us where we're just very pragmatic about things. And I know that it doesn't really actually mean anything. Fame is a vapor, popularity is an accident, riches take wings. The only thing to endure is character. And that is a saying that I live by. It was said by Horace Greeley, I believe.
I'm glad I have that recorded so I can come back to it.
I've been living by that because this industry will definitely inflate your sense of self. And also it can rob you of it at the same time.
Sorry for the interruption. Thank you so much for staying.
And yo, you want to talk about showing your age, bro? I can take it back to Sugar Hill Gang and Curtis Blow, Houdini, the skinny boys and the fat boys. Everybody know about the fat boys, but y'all don't know about them skinny boys. You know, yeah, we old out here. And yeah, Shan was unapologetic about that. She was like, yeah, open relationships. She was all about that, experimenting and banging whoever she wanted to bang, her and her husband. Her husband, you know, very handsome fella, young dude. They did their thing and they have kids. And I guarantee you, if she sees somebody she wants to smash, she's still, right? She's still gonna do her thing. Yeah, ultramagnetic, yeah, MCs, boy, Nucleus. Man, we can go on and on and on about, you know, Public Enemy, bro, Boogie Down Productions. Listen, I got to watch hip hop from the beginning, from the Midwest. And there's still groups out there you never heard of have some of these hits, like some amazing hits. But yeah, man, like women, if you're gonna do it like Shan. She went out there and she did what she was doing. She made her life work for her. She still keeps it together. Y'all can see right here, like she's still working out. She's the hot MILF mom. Like she'll be, you know, in her 50s, banging her, you know, the little boy who's coming over to clean the pool. She'll be over there doing all that kind of stuff. Because that's what she, and of course, I'm not saying she's going to mess with, you know, underage guys. She'll be messing with the 18-year-old. But she's going to be teaching men. You know what I mean? So ain't nothing wrong with it. And this is her commercial, guys. Like she's looking, you know, she's doing all right. You know, she out here getting her workout in, selling stuff. And she doesn't strike me as someone who works out all the time. She's doing this for the money. She strikes me as someone who eats well and kept the weight off. And she done had 2 kids, y'all. She still looks good. And, you know, she puts on makeup when she does her interviews, but this is a woman, I think she looks better without makeup, to be honest with you. She's just walking around with no makeup on. I'm like, yeah, but I'm the guy who loves women who wear next to no makeup. I've always been that dude. I'm not really crazy about people who go out here and wear a ton of makeup, messing up your pillowcases, getting it all over your clothes. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to do all that. And Donald DeJamarco's like, yo, they're up. We're back on. Hold on.
The way that you curated the Cree Summers interview.
Oh my gosh. I know another Canadian legend.
I mean, okay. But that interview was so profound. The way that she articulated, you know, the process of evolution, even for somebody like me who's never been married and is child-free, it still very much resonated with me. Because when she said,
I think it's out there somewhere. And another really interesting thing I've discovered about myself is I don't know if I ever want to live with someone ever again.
Mm-hmm.
I think, as non-traditional as that is, I really would like a traditional marriage, a monogamous marriage, a real committed marriage. But I don't know if I want someone in my home.
But I also love that how this all kind of ties in together of just like fucking the rules and really leaning into like what feels good for you and finding relationships and sexual relationships and acts and partnerships and ideas that you could just melt into.
Well, it's just so nice that you exist. And I'm so glad that you're a sister, because we have to see a reflection of ourselves to learn about these things, and sometimes to accept these things. And I think about Brave and Hero, my beautiful daughters. And aren't they so lucky? I know the world is on fire, but in this example, aren't they so lucky to be born now, where they don't have to struggle the way I did, pretending to be something you're not in the bedroom. I mean, I used to pretend to be so coy and so shocked and so amazed, when this is the same old thing, unimpressed, but feigning fascination. But it took me years to realize you don't have to do that. And you don't have to be satisfied with mediocre sex. And you don't have to pretend something's good that isn't. And I'm going to make sure that my daughters don't have to do that dance. And I think we're coming into a sexual revolution, and women are coming to a place where they don't want to do that. And they're realizing, well, no, I think we probably never wanted to do that, but we're realizing we don't have to do that.
What she really highlighted.
Yo, that's crazy right there, man. That's crazy right there. And little shorty, she seems crazy. So, she's probably got the best Foxy Brown out there. Crazy girls have the best sex, man. That is Mother Nature's way of keeping the crazy gene in the gene pool. If crazy girls weren't crazy, right? If crazy girls, if crazy girls didn't have really amazing, insane, crazy sex, wouldn't nobody deal with it. And that gene would be out of the gene pool. Like, humans wouldn't be crazy, but crazy girls got the best. You hear me? The best. I can't tell you how many times I done got in trouble. It's like in Russian roulette with the Foxy Brown. But and a lot of women look up to what she's saying, and this is how young women get confused. And it's like, if you marry someone and that's the only person you've really been with, that's the person you really want to be with, you really don't have anything to compare to. So to say that he has terrible sex, or his thing, or he don't know how to work it or whatever, she's not even going to be thinking about that. And most dudes don't have sexual experience like that. Most guys are virgins these days. Like, I heard the men out here are sexless, legit virgins. So he ain't got nothing to compare it to. And that's how it used to be back in the day. People would get together, they're very inexperienced sexually, and they just made it work. They loved each other and they figured it out. But now, especially if we're teaching young women, especially, to go out here and get it, go out here and get those guys, and you're pushing them to the top 10%, the top 20%. You push them to the experienced dudes. They're gonna get an experience that their future husband ain't gonna be able to match. Then what? My husband is everything, but he's terrible in bed. What does that mean? Like, that might open up some options. And for her, if that was like one of the only dudes she's ever been with, she wouldn't have nothing compared to. You know what I'm saying? She ain't never met Dirk Diggler. You know what I mean? She ain't never met that. So she ain't got nothing to compare to, nothing to think about. And she could just focus on her relationship with her dude, and they can grow together and learn this stuff together. I think that's a big problem. That sexual freedom is a big problem. Like, I would say I would fall short of encouraging girls to go out there and do all that. I would say don't, like, maintain your value. Don't go out there. And if you do, ladies, if you do go out there and you do it, make sure you keep it on the hush. Make sure that you can play it off later. Put all your skeletons in the closet, lock that door, and keep it shut. Because if a guy finds out, it definitely will be a problem, man. Yeah. Crazy is dodging a bullet these days. I stay away from crazy girls these days, but boy, oh boy, when I was younger, man, them crazy chicks, they got that look. The look the little shorty had in her eye, that's that look. That's that crazy look, man. Like, yo, and they be ready to go. Like, come on, they be grabbing you talking. Man, I'm just letting you know. Let's get back to the video.
Highlighted is that as long as we are alive, we're in this constant cycle of birth and death. When it came to, say, like my mom dying, passing away during pandemic, just anguish, feel endless love. But the one thing that I also felt was that I'm watching somebody leave this earth and you can't take anything with you. So everything that at one time used to be important, like material wise, it left with her. So now I was left with this feeling that I can no longer want things the way I once did. And I had to mourn that part of myself because it's like, well, who are you when you no longer crave things? I think that intimacy was something that I never really thought much about until I started to have experiences with it that were platonic, you know? For example, when I was here last year to accept a Gracie Award for my podcast, I went out. Thank you. I went out one night with my girlfriends for, another appearance, and I had a very, 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 very tight ponytail. And I wanted to keep the ponytail, but by the end of the night, there was no way. And so my girlfriend, she sat me down on the floor. She sat like this and starts taking the ponytail out of my hair. And then as soon as all the ponytail hair was out of my hair, without even asking, she started to massage my scalp. I remember what that felt like. It was just like all the good drugs, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, flooding my whole brain and face and skin. And it also made me understand or led me to the thoughts that I don't know if I've really had an intimate relationship with a man in my entire life.
All right. She flew the plane around the pattern a lot so she could land it right there. Just to say she's never had an intimate relationship. Man, look, as beautiful as she is, and she's still an attractive woman, but back in her day, as beautiful as she was back, I'm here to tell you that there were more than a few guys who were completely into her because men are just drawn to beauty like that. Now, maybe she has a horrific attitude and that just turned off a lot of these guys. Like the guys get in there, they smash or whatever, and just like, oh man, she just has a horrific attitude. I ain't trying to deal with her. And they never got to the intimacy. But or maybe she just shot down all the guys who were gonna give her that intimacy. Cause I mean, bro, I've been with some chicks that I knew were almost pro level. You hear me? Like these women were just like so loose with it. They were almost pro level. And I could still have an intimate moment with her. A funny moment where we laughing about something, like we running around the house, you know what I mean, but booty ass naked. We're taking showers together. We're doing all that in the house, of course. I wasn't doing that outside. Like, I'm not going to hold your hand and all that. Like, I ain't cut you up like that. But we had moments, you know what I mean, where you take some whipped cream and put it on the nose or something like that. So she's sitting saying she's never had an intimate moment. She's talking about her homegirl taking the ponytail, the fake hair out of her hair, and then starts to massage her scalp. You ain't never had a dude like rub your hand, rub your feet, rub your back. You ain't never had that? I don't know about that one. I don't know about that. So sitting here now listening to it, like I'm in my mid-50s. Let's say she's 50 years old. I'm in my mid-50s. I'm like, oh, that'd be a good woman to holler at. But when I hear something like that, I'm like, nah.
Houston, we have a problem.
Nah. You ain't never had an intimate experience in your adult life with a man? Maybe she likes women more. There's ain't nothing wrong with that. You ain't never had an intimate experience with a man? And you've been surrounded by all these dudes in Hollywood and in the music industry and all that, and just in life, and you ain't never had. Oh no, man. I don't know.
Would you say that, like, I don't know much about your background. You talked to me a little bit about the home that you grew up in and walking up those steps in the part of Toronto that you were in, but we're all materialistic and we live in a capitalist society.
Yeah.
But would you say that you identified with being materialistic?
I mean, I think that there was a point in time where,
Yes.
money started to come in. So now I could afford things that I had never even dreamed of affording before. And then also I dated men of means, so I started flying by PJ and staying in, wonderful hotels and incredible suites and traveling the world and, literally just I mean, I've literally had a guy, it wasn't even a first date. It literally was a first hang, spend $100,000 on me. I've had somebody else present me with like $150,000 necklace. This is the initial presentation.
Wow.
I'm like, that's crazy, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll peep that. She's like, that's crazy. I ain't really into you like that, but you gonna offer $150,000 necklace? I'll take it. Just listening to her talk and just kind of watching her sit there, man. Maybe she just kind of fell for her own hype and delusion. And she's like, I'm better than everybody. Maybe that's it. I mean, Peter's pretty expensive. Yeah, y'all know retired air traffic controller, man. I worked around private jets my entire career. Like the 75% of my career was Van Nuys Airport, just in and around private jets. I know exactly how much they cost per hour to operate. Insurance costs, buying a and stuff, extremely expensive, man. You don't take a Gulfstream, they like a G6. You're gonna fly a G6 from LA to New York. You're looking at least $60,000, bro. Depending on what model and what route they take and all that, but you're looking at least $60,000 just to that one way. Doing a round trip, $120,000 plus. And the prices may have gone up. So, yeah, I mean, you can catch some deals. You can charter some deals. There's ways out there that you can get in. You can get a jet. There's some apps out there that, when private jets are going back empty, that you can jump on there basically at discounted rates, pennies on a dollar. If you know the operator, if you know the owner, if you know the company, they'll put you on the plane for free. Like it just, it's like, hey man, I'm trying to get back to LA. I got to get back to LA tomorrow. They're like, oh yeah, we got a spot for you. We got, this Challenger going back to LA. It's flying into Orange County. Is that good enough for you? We can get you to Orange County. Like, yeah, from Orange County, I get my way up to the valley. But you got to be in the world to know that. But I'm listening to what she's saying, bro. Stone Lord, what's happening, bro? I'm glad you made it to the live as well, bro. Thanks for pulling up. And I'm not highlighting the chats right now because I think the slow stream I see is a little bit, but it's not too terrible. Y'all let me know if it gets too bad. But I'm listening to her. I'm looking at her body language, man. Maybe she didn't lock in with these guys because she couldn't. It was good enough. They all have money. They were all there. We're talking about top 5% earners. She's been around these dudes probably good, 10, 15 years. And like to say she never had an intimate moment with a guy, man, I find that hard to believe. Like I remember once I met Megan Fox once. I was doing comedy at this hookah lounge and she knew the owners and she was there. I met her once and she was sitting there like, oh man, my shoulders are real tense. I just got behind her, gave her a quick little massage. It was all good. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, bro, it's the same story as old girl took the fake hair out and was massaging her scalp. Like I was just giving her a little massage or whatever. It's like, it was what it was. You mean to tell me that no man was trying to, get you comfortable and caress you and all that? Man, it's got to be more to that. It's got to be more.
I looked at that necklace. I was like, that is a down payment on a house. Let me hold on to that sucker. But it just rings so hollow because then you'll see those same guys do that for other girls kind of thing. It's just men's with means that's nothing to them, so it's not intimacy. It's not even because they really like you. It's just very transactional. This industry is extraordinarily transactional. So, yeah.
So what else? Yeah, it makes sense of being of that culture. You don't get to actually feel and experience what intimacy genuinely is.
No. Do you know how intoxicating it is to have the world cheering for your relationship while you're still in the honeymoon phase? You feel literally drunk in love. That's what it feels like.
Who did you experience that with?
I don't want to admit it. Oh, okay. The first person that I experienced that with, his name is OCU Minora. He was a defensive end for the Giants, two-time Super Bowl champion,
Name dropping.
future Hall of Famer. Yeah, that's the first person. I hesitate to use the word soulmate, but boy, did we make sense to each other. Boy,
Hold on, man. Hold on. You got a guy that you want to call your soulmate. You made sense to each other. She ran down his professional resume. She remembered all that. Who in the chat even knew about dude? When she said his name, I'm like, oh, it sounds familiar, but I couldn't tell you what team. I couldn't tell you how many Super Bowl wins, right? I couldn't tell you about the Hall of Fame. He's getting a gold jacket. She's with dude, and she was like, yeah, this is the guy. Like, I'm not going to say soulmate, but we were like really good or whatever term she used. And you mean to tell me you ain't have an intimate moment with this man? Not one? Not one intimate moment? Stone Lord. He's like, who is this 304 man? This is a very famous video vixen, right? Melissa Ford. Now she's in media. She does podcasting and stuff like that. You know what I mean? She's at the wall right now, bro. And listening to her talk to Shan, whatever her last name is. And this is the classic example of things to come. We have a lot of women who are going after the bag, and they're having these experiences young in life when they're at their peak, like in the sexual marketplace, like when they're at their peak in their 20s. And then they get to their 30s, 40s, and then 50s, they hit the wall at some point. And now they're reflecting on, why I couldn't have a relationship that's intimate or whatever, or why I didn't have kids, but I got all this money. And then they're telling you that they're good. I'm fine. I don't need all that. I got this money. It's kind of like Steve Martin at the end of The Jerk. Remember, I know I'm showing my age. I know I'm old, y'all, but Steve Martin did this movie called The Jerk. And in that movie, there's a story of a guy, adopted, stupid white guy. I'm not being mean here. This is how the movie is designed. He was adopted by a black family who didn't have nothing, and they just sent him out into the world. I mean, it's the story of him. It's kind of like it's like a comical Forrest Gump, really. But at one point in the movie, he's one of the richest men on the planet, and something happens, and he loses everything. He's walking out of his mansion, and he's like, "I don't need you guys. I don't need nothing except, I just need this hat. I just need this hat." Then he's walking out, and I need this pen. It's my favorite pen. I need this pen. And he's walking out, and I need this microphone. So as he's walking out the house, you just see him grabbing stuff. He's just, I need this mouse. I need this mouse. I need those glasses. He's like, I need my dog. The dog runs away from him. I guess I don't need no dog. But anyway, this is what it reminds me of. This is what a lot of young women are going to go through. And this isn't funny. It's tragic, to be honest with you. But, life is hard. And she's sitting here telling us she's with a guy, an NFL guy, top of his game, 2 Super Bowls, going to the Hall of Fame, the man, probably a franchise player, richer than Davy Crockett. And she's sitting here telling us, right, that she's never had an intimate moment with a man. It's just and this is why you got to learn how to pay attention to women, man. You got to listen to what they say and basically just use it to your advantage. Because I'm hearing all this stuff, and then, if you guys are just having a moment, maybe you hold her hand for a second, give her a nice little hand massage. Maybe that'll loosen her up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing, man. And she's in Hollywood. She's had plenty of moments, plenty of one-night stands, 2-week stands. She's had plenty of these things, but she's probably savvy enough to keep most of that in her closet. But you get with this guy, this multimillionaire, 0.001% man, and you say that y'all are soulmates, and you couldn't make it work. You're beautiful. She's peaking. He's peaking. She couldn't make it work. My goodness.
could we read each other's, both Scorpios? We could read each other's minds. I predicted his whole life, his Super Bowl wins, everything. We were so simple. We were really simple people, just really, really visible. and famous. Like our favorite thing to do was to like eat ribs in bed and watch, like binge watch TV. You know what I mean?
First of all, gross. Second of all, cute.
I mean, I love ribs. But, like that was like our famous thing.
Houston,
We'd go
we
to
have
the
a
local
problem.
movie theater. Like we were really, really, really like regular. But you know, it was short lived. The intoxicating nature of everybody cheering for us, you know, because then the jealousy of others set in.
But hold on, bro. She said she didn't have any intimacy, any intimate moments. Eating ribs in bed isn't like a cool little intimate moment that they shared. This is why so many guys like, and this is why someone like Myron Gaines and Andrew Wilson, they destroy women when they have these stories because you hear the contradictions right away. You hear it right away. I'm sorry if y'all eating ribs in bed. You guys are both successful. He's a multimillionaire. That bed is probably surrounded by a mansion. A mansion that's full of everything you can think of. That's, you know, y'all spending the whole day just in bed eating ribs. And that's not an intimate moment. That's not something y'all can look back on and laugh. I mean, she's smiling now, telling the story. This is why y'all gotta learn how to listen to women, bro. Like, why did she walk away from with all that forehead? Yeah, she do got an 8 head, but think about it though. This is back when she was popping. Ain't nobody seeing that forehead. Ain't nobody worried about that forehead because go back and look at the pictures of her, man. Like, go back and look at Melissa Ford in the 2000s. Ooh, boy, even in the thumbnail of this thing, that Jamaica, that picture when she has a Jamaica shirt on, man, look.
And then, you know, locker room talk and whatnot. And that had a catastrophic effect on us. He was so young. I was young, but he was younger. I was 30, he was 25.
There it is right there.
So,
hold on. He was 25, she was 30. Why didn't she lock this dude down? She had all of the leverage. She had all of the cards. This guy choose anyone, he chose her. Why didn't she lock him down? Why? The question is, in her mind, maybe, I'm just thinking, listening to her talk, maybe in her mind, she was like, this guy isn't good enough. This dude isn't good enough. And you're 30. This dude isn't good enough. Who's gonna be good enough? 30? Bro. And like Donald J was saying, yeah, man, that's the only time they were in bed eating ribs, right? Like, right. But I'm just saying that was a moment. That was a moment. Remember, she said she didn't have any intimate moments with men. You know what I mean? That, and she was 30 for sure, bro. 30. This is when I think women need coaches for real. I need a dude or a woman who's grounded. You know, this is when grandma would come to the picture. Like, this is like when I was growing up, grandma would talk to the women, young women especially. Like, you better marry that man. You better have his babies. This man's a multimillionaire, top of his game. He's 5 years younger than you, and he got you with him. She's definitely calling the shots. You feel me? She's older. She's been around. You know what I mean? She's wiser than he is. Why didn't she lock that dude down? Ladies, if you find yourself in this situation, lock it down. But again, you know, you guys heard the story about the husband store, right? Myron, anybody who watched Fresh and Fit, Myron talked about this all the time. I actually thought Myron came up with it, but I saw another woman talk about this on a YouTube video. It was like 15 years old. But it doesn't matter who came up with it, but it's basically like women go into, you know, you go into the husband store, you got, what is it, like 5 floors or whatever. And there's only one rule. You can't go back to a floor once you leave the floor. So you can only go up. You can't go back, and you can only go through the husband store one time. So, and they, you know, and basically, you know, women go in there on the first floor and you got, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. You know what I mean? Do me a favor. Someone can find that. Myron saying like, someone do me a favor because it's running slow over here. Just do me a favor and type in husband store and put it in the chat for me. and then I'll at the end of this we'll just watch it. We'll just pull it up and watch it because I'll mess it up because and I know it's funny. Like, come on, man, you a stand-up comic. You can't say that one. Like, man, I'll mess it up. I ain't practicing, but it just shows how hypergamy. It's like no matter what you get, you're thinking I can do better. She's with a multi-millionaire. He's 25 years old, top of his game, about to be a Hall of Famer in the NFL, and you let him get away? I don't understand. Our brother Stone is saying it's an old comedy bit. Okay. Patrick O'Neal did it. All right. Yeah, I didn't know that. It's a funny bit. It's a funny bit, man. The husband story, bro. It's a funny bit. So let's continue. But I can't. Ladies, if you're dealing with a guy, you see how it works, like from a male point of view. Like, why would you? If I'm dealing with a woman and she possessed like 75% of what I'm looking for in a woman, it's like, man, she has everything, but she's only 75%. Bro, you might as well marry her. She's 75%. She's 75%. You ask a woman, you say, hey, you find a guy and he's 85%, 90% of what you're looking for. Would you marry him? Like, no, I got to have 100%. What? I got to have 100%. That's not my one. The next one is going to be the next one. And it just doesn't make sense to us as a guy. Like, you must be out your mind. 75%, bro, I'm in there. I'm in there like swimwear, bro. Let's go. 75%. That's what I'm talking about. She's feminine. She's fit. She's friendly. What else do I need, bro? That's it. That's all within the 75%. Everything else is icing on the cake. That other 25%, bro, that's just icing on the cake. You know what I mean? No mods here to add. That's crazy, man. I don't think. Damn. I don't want to switch it over because it'll glitch really bad. So just hang in there. We'll find it at the end. Do me a favor, find it, hold on to it. When we get through this video, then I'll jump in there and I'll probably make y'all mods. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna need that. But anyway, she had a multi-millionaire. It was 5 years younger than she was, in love with her. They eating ribs in the house, sitting in the house all day eating ribs and just having a good old time, probably watching cartoons. And she didn't marry this guy. It ain't like this dude was only worth maybe 2 million. This dude was like a multi-millionaire. This dude was probably sitting on 40, 50 million.
And so the second time something like that happened was Flow Rider. And that's all I'll say on that.
Flow Rider. She was with Flow Rider too.
I said it's fine. He took the permission. I said it. The phone rings.
No idea. Like I literally
No, it's PR. No, it's Flow Rider's like PR person who's like, zip it up. You signed the agreement. Yeah. Stop talking.
Yeah, that was, there's pictures. I was going to say, unfortunately, there's pictures that you could Google, so you'll see who that was. But primarily, I would hide whoever I was dating for the main reason that I didn't want to be recognized for being anybody's girlfriend. Mm-hmm. The reasons why I wanted to be judged by my own career, my own merit, my own accomplishments. I didn't want there to be anything said like, oh, well, she's just because she dated so-and-so. No. And when I say that I dated people who were like height of fame and no one knew because I pressured them to keep it very quiet. But
baby, that's not a flex. This is another thing that women do. For a guy, if I was to sit here, like if we were all sitting around smoking cigars and sipping on cognacs and whiskeys, right? And we were guys just telling their stories. Man, I could tell y'all some amazing stories. I'm pretty sure y'all could tell me some amazing stories, right? That's a flex for men. You know what I mean? It was like, yeah, we reminiscing or whatever. And like, yeah, man, was this and that. Oh, man, the time I met this, I can remember, I'm not going to tell the story. I'm going to tell the story, but I can remember the first time in LA, I'm smashing some chick in the car. I can remember the first time in LA, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm like the one story I told you about the woman from Sri Lanka, man. She had me up in her crib, one of the cool kids. had me up in her cribs, and she had more animals in there, bro, than a petting zoo, man. I'm talking, it was a ferret, there was a rabbit, there was a bird, like one of those loud birds. There was a cat, there was a dog, there was a guinea pig, there were fish. I'm missing something. It was something else in there. I'd never seen it. It was like a baby pet store in there, and little shorty was bad. I mean, ooh, fine Sri Lankan, like bronze skin, man, jet black hair, man. Mom and daddy had money. She living literally like on the corner of Sunset and one of the cross streets. Right there when Sunset was popping. She had no roommates. Little shorty was breaded up. When men tell these stories, that's like that's like, yeah. You know what I mean? That's a good war story because we know how hard it is to have those type of, you know what I'm saying, stories to get that kind of experience, man. That's hard. Like, yo, how'd you get shorty? Oh, blah, blah, blah. But when women tell a story, she's sitting there like, yeah, I had all these men, these wealthy men, these successful, men, these famous guys. And I would tell them, don't tell nobody you seen me. Okay, on the one hand, I understand that. You keeping it in the closet. That's what's up, shorty. But on the other hand, you couldn't lock it down with any of these dudes, any of them. And again, it goes back to maybe she believed they weren't good enough. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what they're talking about. Maybe. You know what I mean? All right, Stone, appreciate you stopping in, bro. We gonna holler at you, fam. Let's keep going.
In the moments when it got leaked and you were receiving that fanfare and where there was this excitement and you become basically the prince and princess of the town.
You feel like you need to keep up appearances, but it's falling apart. Especially if one person is falling out of love with the other at a faster rate. Yeah.
The worst feeling.
Yeah. So that sucks. That sucks. Because then you're left with, just what do I do? Because then you're worried that this is some kind of, effect on you. It always affects the women more than it affects the men, though.
But that also goes to say that we have finite amount of time of things to focus on. And then if we do have time to look for mates or be in those circles, we have to be very selective about the environments that we go in and what we're focused on getting. So I want to actually have this conversation with you because I have 2 daughters, right? And my kids are in Gen Alpha. Mm-hmm. And for Gen Alpha, 2/3 of the jobs that exist right now will not exist when they are of age. So it's a very uncertain future for them. Yeah. And we live in increasingly uncertain times right now. And I have a big gripe with hypergamy. Mm-hmm. The idea of telling my daughters that looking for a financially stable partner is the best bet, even in spite of the fact that we live in economic uncertain times. So I'm just curious from your vantage point on that, because there is so much talk about that online. And like I said, everything you described, in some people's cases, sounds like a fantasy. Mm-hmm. Like getting presented with a $150,000 necklace on day one, like that's a fantasy. Do you feel a sense of disillusionment from it? Or what would you say in response to people who look at that and say, oh, I aspire to that?
There's nothing with talking to your daughters and explaining to them how dating works and explain the importance of being financially stable. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're going out there saying, well, only be with these men because they have money or they have this, they have power, that's not a good look. You have to be able to sit them down and explain. Like Shan is talking about, well, basically it's going to be harder for people to make money, and I don't want my daughters to lock themselves down with a brokey. That's pretty much what she's saying. Okay, I hear you. Now you're supposed to say which is more happiness or money, right? Ideally, you want both, but which is more important? And then she's talking to a woman who's already told us that she's left a bunch of millionaires on the table. And it's like millionaires on the table because she was looking, it was hypergamy. She was looking for the best of the absolute best. I could do better. I could do better. I could do better. This is what I'm thinking. I could do better. I could do better. I could do better. Right? That's what, it's like, can you? And now you're past it. Right? And Andrew Tate said was on Fresh and Fit. We had it on this platform. Andrew Tate was talking to a table full of young women. It was like, if you believe that when you're old and you're past it, the fact that you make enough money, or you have enough money to buy yourself a couple extra Gucci bags or a Birkin bag, that's going to make you feel happy and fulfilled, you're wrong. It's like, for women, like when they have kids, man, they can see their kids and their grandkids and their great grandkids. That's what makes them, that's their value. Like, man, I created all that. All them humans over there came from me, literally. That's something, no man can do that. It's impossible. Men can't do it. Right. And it's like you decided to forego all that so you can make $800,000 working for this company over here, Inc., or that company over there, Enterprises. You're not going to be happy. So I want to hear what she has to say about this, man. I really do, man. I really want to hear how she answers this, because that was a
necklace.
Well, everything that goes with it, to be putting yourself in the places where that's even possible.
It's just not real. It would be too difficult to maintain. It would be a headache to maintain. It would be constant anxiety, and I don't want it. I did it. I don't want it. Never want that for myself anymore. So if that would be the last thing that I advised a young girl to do, to look at, look at men of means being, your saving grace or your safety net. Girls are thriving. Women are thriving. We're outpacing men in every aspect of life right now. By the way, I saw their pictures. They are stunning. You must be so proud.
Thank you. I am. Yeah. I really, really am. And I am hopeful for them. And I am hopeful for them to have an intimate life that is fulfilling. And I also acknowledge that it comes in all forms. And don't get me wrong, I've spoken to women before who have a partner who has lots of means, and it contributes, may not be the only reason, but it definitely contributes to their feeling of appreciation to be in the relationship, love for the relationship.
And don't let me say that being like all rich men are pieces of shit. That is definitely not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
However, I've dated enough of them that there is a consistency. I call it rich man syndrome. And you know what rich man syndrome looks like?
What?
Somebody got to get that. That's just their attitude. Somebody is always going to fall. Like they walk with a wake in front of them, and whatever happens behind them, they've got people just scrambling and picking things up and whatever else. And also the fact that they have the money also is.
Couldn't you make the argument that that's pretty much? I've dealt with more women who have done that. What she just said, like you throw something down or someone take care of that, or just sit down and order people around. I've dealt with more women who've done that than I have men who do that. So when I hear her say that, what I'm thinking, it's like your superpower doesn't work on these guys. These guys are like, man, I got all the money in the world. And you have looks, you're beautiful. But look out that window. Every woman downstairs trying to get into this hotel is beautiful because they know I'm in here. It just takes away. And here's another thing. I know a bunch of wealthy dudes. Not every guy with money is like that. I've seen some guys who are like that. Yeah, like I said, I've been around some extremely wealthy people. I've seen some wildness. And I was out there in LA. And what she's describing really is LA fame, New York fame. That's what she's describing. It's like a rub it in your face kind of thing. I'm an A-lister, this asshole kind of thing. That's not how people who come from family money or hard-earned money, they don't act like that. I guess she just wasn't in the right circles. I guess she was just coming up on these dudes in the industry, be it TV or movies or music. She's dealing with these guys, sports. Like she's dealing with these guys who are used to being catered, especially football players. Football players have been taken care of their whole life because they've been like the top tier football guy since they were 8. And it just went all the way through high school, college, into the NFL. So basketball too. So like athletes have been taken care of. All they had to do was go out there and work on their sport. They didn't have to go do anything else. It sounds to me like maybe she went after the wrong dudes. And she's using a very broad brush. And I'm sure there were guys around her that had this money, but maybe the physicality wasn't there. Maybe they weren't gangster enough. You know what I mean? Maybe they didn't have, maybe they weren't dangerous enough. Maybe it was something about the dudes, the good guys that she didn't like, but it sounds like she had access to them. Those dudes were right there. Man, if she sits down with somebody, someone could just analyze this for. I'm pretty sure she's probably seen a professional. Professional, like, yeah, I saw that video you did with Shan. Let's sit down and talk. We're gonna have to cover this for the next 3 sessions. But it sounds like she chose the wrong dudes over and over and over again. These guys have all this money, and either she thought she was too good for these guys, or these guys refused to lock her down, and now she's on the outside looking in.
They walk with the attitude and the bravado that they are the breadwinner, and they're the ones that are affording you this luxurious life. I was never very vocal about what it was that I wanted. The vast majority of men that I've been involved with have assumed that my love language was gifts. They weren't. It was not. It's like, okay.
Hold on, man. That's not an assumption. You started this whole interview out talking about how a guy gave you $150,000 necklace and you took it. That's a gift. That's everyone's love language. If someone's walking around giving away $100,000 gifts, and again, why didn't she say no? Wouldn't that have set her apart from all the other women? But love language, I hear people talk about love languages, man. I know it's hard to listen to. If you're talking to a woman, she goes into that. Love language this and love language that. You got to listen to it, bro. You got to listen to it. Right? Because most guys in that situation, they're just trying to find a way to smash, really. And if that's what you're doing, you're going to have to listen to it and be able to, tell her some of this stuff that she said, remember it for later. But if you look into, what I normally do now when I'm having conversations with women, and I might have that thought like, yo, she's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, man, maybe I could get to know this woman. And then we get into this stuff, the love languages, the horoscope and all this. I'm like, because I look at her, I'm like, man, I don't see no tattoos. She's dressed very conservatively. I mean, of course, now she's older, but still, I'm like, that's pretty cool. But the minute I hear that kind of stuff, it's like, okay, let me find a way out of this conversation. Love language. They didn't know my love language. They thought my love language was gifts.
Well, I'm not going to slap a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah, there she go right there.
But that's not my love language. That's not the primary one. The primary one is, is quality time. And then, physical touch, and
that's not the primary one. So it is a love language. It is one of your language. It's not the number 1 love language. It's the number 2, or it's the 1.5. Like, bro, it's one of your love languages, but it's not the number 1. I want physical touch. I can't touch you without your permission. I'll go to jail.
Those were the quality time was the one thing that I could never really get, but I always felt like I was asking for too much. Yeah. Yeah. And that's where I had to, do a lot of internal work, understanding standards, boundaries, how it all relates to my sense of self-esteem, or lack thereof at different times. I for a long time, I lacked a lot of self-esteem. Thankfully, that attitude is going out the window, kind of really love that Vogue article. Is it embarrassing to have a boyfriend these days?
I've been on this time.
Right.
I've been saying, don't post me.
Right.
You see what I mean when I say, bro, if you just let a woman talk, she'll tell on herself, man. She'll tell you everything you need to know. We're 27 minutes into this interview, bro. And this is how it goes in real life. If you're talking to a woman, man, you need to master the art form of allowing her to speak, and don't interrupt. Let her talk and pay attention. Oh, girl's giving up all the game. She's giving it up. Low self-esteem, that came out like, oh, she's still dealing with that. Low self-esteem because maybe she believes she will get the top tier guy after all. Maybe the guy she wanted married somebody else, one of her homegirls. I'm finding that she is. How come she got married? Because she took the opportunity. when she got with the 5-year-old, the multimillionaire who's 5 years younger than she is, she locked him down because she had the leverage. You let the guy get away. This is why you got to let women talk, fellas. Let them talk.
I am a pioneer on many things. But yeah, no, I've definitely had the whole can't keep a man. What's wrong with you? You seem so perfect, so something must be wrong with you, kind of thing. And it's just like, okay, whatever.
Well, there's an element to luck of it, which we have to acknowledge in anything in life, right? Like, I always remember this article I read about Zac Efron saying when people have praised him for the High School Musical thing or for his acting career, he's like, I want you to know that when I walked in the audition room, there was 70 other people who looked identical to me. Mm-hmm. For some reason, somehow, some lucky break, maybe I reminded someone a little more of their nephew, or I made a joke that hit with someone because they just ate that food that day, whatever it was. There was some lucky break that happened. It has nothing to do with talent or merit or anything else.
Very true.
I was there for the opportunity. I got a lucky break. And that applies to love or anything else.
I agree.
You walk into the deli store, you go to the grocery store, like you fall in love, or you have to have the chance meeting, and then plus the availability. There's a lot of things that play to make it so finding your person is extremely hard. I actually love, what was that girl from Harry Potter's name?
Emma Watson.
Yeah. In an interview about that, she was asked that question too. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't get it. You're everyone's dream girl. Yeah. She was most beautiful woman alive at one point. And how are you still single? And she's like, how entitled are you all? Mm-hmm. Why do you think that this is such a miracle thing to be a person, to find yourself, to love yourself, and to find somebody else who loves themselves, who you love being with, who amplifies your life? You happen to amplify theirs, and you want the same thing, live in the same town, your friends and family get along, like all of the variables that take place to make that happen. Why do we all feel like everybody should just have that?
I never did. I've always felt like people who found their person and they just work, they
Man, this is what happens when women have too many choices. This was before technology. This stuff that happened with Sister Melissa Ford happened before, basically before the internet was what the internet is, before the smartphones were what the smartphones were, before dating apps, before Instagram, before social media. The thing is, it is hard to have a relationship. And they're saying, well, the people who get relationships, they're just lucky. They're special. Nah, they're doing what they wanted to do. You will never hear a man say any of the things that they just said with respect to relationships, because it is hard for men to get women to even look at them, let alone sit back like, I don't know which one to pick. Even the guys, even the very top tier men, the highest value men, they'll lock down a woman. They'll lock her down. They'll get one. They will get one. Brad Pitt, George Clooney. They'll get one. You name the dude, they'll get one. Or 4, Hugh Hefner. He kept 4 around. They'll lock it in to what they're looking for. But today's woman seems to be struggling with all this choice. And then when it comes down to having a relationship, like a real relationship, man, a real relationship takes time and effort. You gotta put in the work. It is not luck. It's not luck. You'll never hear a man say the things that they just said. Lost in Translation is in the building. Hey, bro, we started the show off with your track. Man, I forgot the name of the track already, bro. But in the thumbnail was like the brother and the sister is sitting at the table, and the brother has flowers, something for you or something. I can't. I think you just did that one too. I think it's only a couple hours old. Banger, bro. That song right there, man. Like the single drops on 3/13/26, and the album drops on 3/20/25 under the name Indigo Major. Okay, cool. The Major Soul Project over here. Yeah, over here, bro. Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna keep playing your music as long as you let me, man. Because this fire, bro, fire. But we're over here talking about what's going on with Melissa Ford, man. She's brother lost in translations in a relationship, and like from what I can tell, like his woman is very integral to what he has going on. When you get into a relationship, guys, you want a woman that adds value, and of course, you're gonna add value. She won't be talking to you if you didn't add value or had the potential to add value, right? And you guys are gonna be able to move together and grow together. That's what you want to do. That's what's best, right? That's what's best, and it takes work on both ends. It takes work. Man, for these women to sit here and like, because she's saying, I've heard it all. They say, what's wrong with you? You can't get a man. Yeah, that's a valid question. Why didn't you choose one of these dudes? Like you multi-millionaires, handsome dudes, charismatic guys, these dudes who know what they do. You couldn't. Why? I think that's a fair question. And the answer might be, I didn't want to, or I didn't think I was good enough, because we're talking about her low self-esteem. Maybe she didn't think she was good enough. I was saying maybe she thought she didn't think the men were good enough, or maybe she thought she wasn't good enough. Beauty is truly a curse, guys. Over here, that yeah, man. And like he's like, his girl's very inspiring. That's what's up, fam. But beauty is truly a curse. The beautiful women know what I'm talking about. And ladies, y'all gotta see through that and lock down the guy. Is there. You got these multi-millionaire guys putting in, they don't have a lot of time. What time they have, they want to spend with you. That's it. That's it. Like, work with that. Add value to him. Do things for him that he doesn't have to pay somebody else for, so he can turn to you and y'all can grow together. She should have been listening to Fresh and Fit back in the day, is all I'm saying, bro. There's so many things that women could do to help themselves out. But at the end of the day, there's so many choices out there for women. Even now, if you go into Melissa's, like if she were to open up her social media and let you look at her DMs, I'm pretty sure there's mad dudes in there trying to marry her right now. Right now. Now, I'm not sure if these dudes are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but these are dudes who are just like, I've always, thought you were amazing. Can't wait to meet you. Hope to meet you. I love it. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm listening to this conversation, bro. I doubt if I would even strike up a conversation with her. If I was somewhere and she's in the room, I doubt if I would holler at her, bro, to keep it 100. Shan, on the other hand, I would definitely run over to talk to her. You don't know what's going to happen with her, but it's going to be a good conversation. You kind of know that. There's certain people you want to talk to, and there's certain people's like, I don't know about that. Shan, I would run over and holler at her. But this Miss Melissa right here, I doubt if I would. I not even doubt. I guarantee you I wouldn't go over and talk to her. I just wouldn't. After this, listening to this interview, why? Like, there's a lot going on over there, man. Like, we all got work to do, so I ain't trying to say I'm better or worse than she is, but it's just like, bro, why would I go over and try to talk to her, man?
Like, as well as love, because that's more important than love. Because there's a thin line between love and hate, but like equals respect. You know what I mean? And
no, it doesn't.
I've always looked at people who have like found their person and just found the their soul's counterpart, if you will. I've always found them to be so lucky, because it's really like a lottery. You know what I mean?
It's not a lottery.
And
it's not a lottery. It takes work. I know a handful of people who've done that. I know people who had relationships, man, and didn't work out. I know a handful of people who had relationships and it's worked. And I've been in enough relationships to let you know right now, man, it takes work, sacrifice. You have to want to do it. It's no luck at all. If anything, the luck is you met them on the day that you met them. I can give you that. If there's any luck involved in a relationship, it's in the beginning when you meet. And the luck part is you met her on Tuesday when she was in a good mood, as opposed to Thursday when she was in a shitty mood. That's the luck part. Right. So if you're gonna say there's some luck, you got lost, or you went left instead of right. And if had you gone right, you're sorry, but you went left and y'all bumped into each other. Okay, I'll give you that. Maybe that's some luck. But as far as from that point forward, man, it's work. It's hard work.
Don't see anybody out there that I really would love to sleep with. Like, I'm super like, I'm an incel right now, involuntary celibate, because there's nobody out there that I would really like to sleep with, you know?
Man, what did she say?
Hold up.
Ladies, simply because you choose not to sleep with guys that don't meet your standards does not make you involuntarily celibate. Cody's King's in the building. What's good, fam? Oh, wrong button. Cody is King is in the building. Ladies. Ladies, I want to say that one more time. Simply because you refuse to have sex with men that don't meet your high standard or whatever, that does not mean you're involuntarily celibate. In fact, you are volunteering not to have sex. Right? So you have chosen to be celibate. Even in her like late 40s, early 50s, however old Miss Melissa King is, I guarantee you there are a legion of men out there right now that will buy a ticket and cross the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean to get a chance to smash her right now. So that being the case, you can't be involuntarily celibate. I don't know why women are grabbing onto this incel thing and the femcel thing and trying to incorporate it into their situation. Ladies, that's not a thing. You got a Foxy Brown, you got girl parts. There's a dude out there who would love to engage with your girl parts. Like, so when I hear that, I don't know why. Like Cody said, buying a ticket is a bit much. Cody, you might not buy a ticket, but there are dudes out there who would buy a ticket. I'm not gonna buy that ticket, but there's plenty of dudes that will drop that bread, drop $5,000 and fly into the war-torn region in the Middle East is right now is being bombed as we speak. If she there talking about you can come get this, they will figure out a way. They will fly into Turkey, drive a car through Syria and into Dubai or Lebanon or wherever they have to go to Bahrain to smash shorty. They would do it. Man, she is like 50, but I mean, she's, for 50, I mean, she ain't bad for 50, but yeah. But the point is, she's not involuntarily celibate. Stop it. I don't know why ladies are doing this. Like, dude, man, you'd be surprised, man. These dudes out here super thirsty, bro. These dudes out here super thirsty. I know guys that would do it for various reasons. Some dudes would do it just because they're groupies and they're like, they've had a crush on her since 2002. Like, I get a chance to smash that, they're gonna go do it. But to say that she's involuntarily celibate, that's not true. That's not even close to being true. But so many women are doing this. Ladies, if you're watching, there's no such thing as a woman who's involuntarily celibate. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a woman who cannot get sexual attention from a man, intimacy from a man. It's not a thing. There are plenty of dudes out there that will service you 100%. Ladies, if you don't believe me, please leave a comment and I would love to bring you on here and break it down for you.
Plus, I'm so busy. For me, man, what are you gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
it might not happen for me in this lifetime. And whenever I say things like that, because I've said this for a really long time, people try to come to my rescue. Like, oh, don't think like that. Oh, you're putting negativity in the universe. I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. Like, am I really? Is it just my Canadian pragmatism and also like my assessment of chances and statistics? You know what I mean?
Yo, Tyrone, she ain't on your list. You got Megan Good on there, bro. You got everybody on there, man. Shania Latham. You got Tracy Ellis Ross on there. Yeah, I wouldn't fly nowhere for Tracy, but if Tracy Ellis Ross was, in Tampa or catch me somewhere like Miami, LA, New York, and she tried to holler at me, bro, she can get it. Her body is ridiculous, bro. Her body is ridiculous. She get I mean, I get your point, Cody, but I'm sure you get mine. Like, we just, we arguing semantics, but there's no way that this woman right here that's in this interview cannot get sex from a man. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. And as a matter of fact, Cope approached himself or run up there, man. Now you know you would. Don't lie.
I mean, there's nothing but opportunities to like lay down with somebody, but relationship wise, there's just a real divide happening out there in, you know, when it comes to like people who are still in the dating game. I exited stage left. Like I said, I don't even bother. My career is thriving right now. I travel a lot. I solo travel. I love it. And I'm really having a
It'll be like this one time at band
in my
camp.
life that is lasting years. So that the thought of like letting somebody in to potentially disrupt that, I don't have the time, patience, or desire for it. I'm seeing like a lot of women opting out too.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of women are just opting out.
Opting out because they can't. A lot of women who are opting out. I see women who are doing what I'm doing. They're opting out because they can't get the attention from the dudes, the highest value men that they were getting it for. They can't get it, so they're opting out. That's a straight up mindset. Playing it. And Kobe, you right, man. You right though. Dudes do need to fly to smash, whatever, man. Like I said, I got more than a couple of Loch Ness monsters in my, and I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Cope me. I feel you, Tyrone. Like, yes, you got a bad. I feel you on that because I whatever. So to fool me somehow or get me, hey man, give me enough of these, enough brown liquor, bro, and she can get it. But outside of that, I'm like, oh boy, and I'm a style when they were like, oh, we got to go to another. Y'all ain't. She back on her computer, but let's keep going.
Because we're exhausted. Race, ethnicity, or even age. I'm seeing like 30-year-olds saying like, yeah, nope. 4B movement, you know.
Again, going back to probability, and especially as specific as your life is, as high profile as you are, as beautiful and as intimidating as you are, you have a very specific life, so you're going to require a very specific partner.
Yeah.
If you go to a town and if there's 100 men there and you're like, okay, I want him to be college educated. All right, cool. There's 30 left.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him to be my cousin. All right, well, now there's 28 left. I want him to be 6 feet. Now there's 5 left. I don't want him to be married. Now there's 2 left. So the probability game happens when just by virtue of the person that you're looking for, it's going to be very specific. And then to your point, maybe you don't want to spend your energy searching.
No.
Because it might take that, you know, when Jafar was searching for that lamp.
Yeah.
Do you want to turn over every grain of sand to find your partner?
No, I'm leaving it up to the universe.
My bad, guys. We did like I said, let me run this back just a little bit.
For somebody like me who's never been married and is child free.
Oh Lord. Now I gotta go find what we were. I hit the wrong button. I'm a terrible producer today. Hold on. I think we were around 27 minutes in here. Let's see. I gotta find. They were talking about the 4B movement. Man, I'm sorry, guys. I'm over here messing up. But I want you to hear this. Here it is. So the Shan was running down the numbers. Like I said, man, Shan was running down the numbers. And Shan was one of those women who realized early on, like, okay, I can go out here, live my best life, go out here, smash all these dudes, whatever, have all these experiences, but I got to lock down a husband. And that's what she did. Melissa Ford didn't lock down a husband. Brother Lost in Translation is like, yeah, let's be honest. She is only fooling herself with this career thing. When you get old, the last thing you are going to think about is a career. That's a fact. So pay attention. This is where Shan ran these numbers down, man. Pay attention to this part, guys.
Race, ethnicity, or even age. I'm seeing like 30-something-year-olds saying like, yeah, nope, 4B movement.
Again, going back to probability, and especially as specific as your life is, as high profile as you are, as beautiful and as intimidating as you are, you have a very specific life, so you're going to require a very specific partner.
Yeah.
If you go to a town and if there's 100 men there and you're like, okay, I want him to be college educated. All right, cool. There's 30 left.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him to be my cousin. All right, well, now there's 28 left. Mm-hmm. I want him to be 6 feet. Now there's 5 left. I don't want him to be married. Now there's 2 left. So the probability game happens when by virtue of the person that you're looking for, it's going to be very specific. And then to your point, maybe you don't want to spend your energy searching.
No.
Because it might take that, when Jafar was searching for that lamp,
Yeah.
Do you want to turn over every grain of sand to find your partner?
No, I'm leaving it up to the universe, and so I feel like maybe possibly through my job, through the work that I do now, doing public speaking engagements, ending up at conferences like the Congressional Black Caucus and film festivals and that sort of thing. Those kinds of, places and events kind of will more likely, probability wise, have the echelon of man that I am. I would be more likely to consider. But for me, it's not just status and prestige and height and bank account. It's not that. I am looking for somebody who actually enjoys being an adult.
Bullshit.
Because I've dealt with so many men that had arrested development and Peter Pan syndrome. And I can't. I'm looking for somebody who has healthy boundaries. I want somebody who is emotionally intelligent, emotionally mature.
Well, that's great. That's just fucking great, man.
He can have
Now
kids.
what the fuck are we supposed to do?
Stepmom, just don't put any pressure on my uterus, okay? Because these eggs are scrambled. It's done. All right. I'll be a great stepmom. Awesome. Probability wise, have the echelon of man that I am, I would be more likely to consider. But for me, it's not just status and prestige and height and bank account. It's not that. I am looking for somebody who actually enjoys being an adult, because
Bro, she's going to find a dude who's in his mid to late 60s, who has a really nice job, who's probably like a former producer or CEO of some entity somewhere in the business. And they're going to look good for his age. Y'all remember when Sean Connery was like named the sexiest man alive and he was like in his 60s or 70s or something like that? She's gonna find a dude like that. A Jeff Bezos guy, a nerdy dude who got there and had a crush on her, and she's gonna bump into him at some conference or something, and she's gonna wind up with that guy, and it's gonna be loveless and sexless. Y'all hear what she's saying, bro? Y'all hear what she's saying? This is sad. This is bad for this society. It's bad for America. And I think that there might be 3, maybe 4 generations of women caught up in this. And then it's going to stop because the young women are watching. It's like, I don't want to end like that. I think you're going to have more women like Shan and less women like Melissa Ford. That's where we headed. And I mean, even the dudes in the chat, we're just listening to, and it's like, yeah, bro, I wouldn't even want to be around her. Like, she's talking crazy right now. She's saying, I'm cool. I don't need nobody. I don't want nobody in my life. I'm setting my ways, blah, 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 blah. 45 seconds later, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna leave it up to the universe. Because Shan wrote it down. She's like, talking about balance of probability. And with all this stuff, like you're rejecting the vast majority of your guys, 98% of men, you're rejecting. Well, it ain't about money with me, but he can't be broke. There's plenty of brokies out here who will just love to be around you, make you smile, cook and clean and all that kind of stuff. I don't want him. I'm a top tier guy. I want, I still want the elite of the elite. You can't have all that. And Donald J is right, man. She has been talking crazy for the entire interview. It just lets you know where women are. Again, When you're out here talking to women, man, they'll tell you everything you want to know.
Dealt with so many men that had like, arrested development and Peter Pan syndrome. And I can't. I'm looking for somebody who has healthy boundaries. I want somebody who is emotionally intelligent, emotionally mature, still curious.
What does that mean?
He can have kids. I'll be a great stepmom. Just don't put any pressure on my uterus, okay? Because these eggs are scrambled. It's done. All right. I'll be a great stepmom.
You didn't
awesome.
free.
I ain't gonna lie. That's the one thing that I wouldn't mind smashing. You can't have babies? Ooh, yeah, bro. You can't have babies. We shooting up the club.
Get some. Get some. Get some.
Yeah, bro. I might have to let her have it. Get some, baby. But she said she didn't want to have any kids. Now she's saying I'll be a good stepmom. She's all over the place.
No. I never really got the memo.
Yes, understood.
Never really got the memo. I'm very determined. So if I really wanted to have a child, I would have had a child. And I
can still.
No,
maybe not with your own, but you can still raise a child. You can still mother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And there's just so many children that are unwanted that ethically that would make the most sense for me to adopt. Mm-hmm. And I'd probably more likely than not, if I found myself in a financial position to be able to do something like that, it would be an older child because they tend to, get left behind. So that would be, that would be how that would go. But in terms of guys, he doesn't even have to be 6 feet. Like the whole six figures, 6 feet, 6 inches. Oh my God. I'm looking for
smiling?
Kindness. I'm looking for compassion. I'm looking for a man that loves animals because my 2 puppies are they're my dogters. Okay.
Man, what did Fresh and Fish say? What did Fresh say? Invest in Chewy. Bro, they were right about that. They said that 3 years ago, man. Where's Chewy right now? The world is going crazy, but Chewy stock is probably going up. Definitely on the spectrum. Donald J talking about, man, them STIs, bro. STDs, they in the church, they in the corporate board, they in the boardroom, they in the club, they in the lounge, they everywhere, bro. That is what it is. They them brains are scrambled. This is what happens when you hit the wall and you said no to all those opportunities. You said no to all those amazing dudes or wealthy dudes or whatever the case was. I'm pretty sure some good dudes out there. I guarantee you there's some guys that talk to her like, look, I really love you. I want to be with you, but I'm not going to chase you forever. You need to make a decision right now. And then she made the wrong decision and they, you know what I'm saying? They moved on, happy lives, doing their thing. And here she is outside looking in. And I'm not trying to dog or nothing like that, man. It's just now you here and you got to talk about it. Like that's the cope part. Like you got to sit there. People going to ask you about it. Like, well, why did you mess that up? And then 6'6", 6 figures, 6 feet, 6 inches. She started smiling when she said 6 inches. So she's still looking to smash. Then she's like, I can't have any kids, but I wouldn't mind being a mom. I can adopt and all that. She's all over the place, bro.
And my dream is to have a mini farm. I want a lot of animals. I want ducks. I need a goat. I want a cow, like a horse, maybe an emu, Yeah, he got to be with that.
We're getting very specific now. See, I'm just taking away numbers. We started with 100. Now we got 0.5.
I know.
Who doesn't love an emu?
But let me tell you something. Online, I have seen a lot of cute black farmers. I do.
That is so true.
I have seen a lot of cute black farmers. Well, cute farmers just in general, because I'm not race specific. I'm half. So I've dated them all.
Banging everybody.
But yeah, bring your ox and cart and come on.
I got trapped in this algorithm on YouTube that was just lawnmowers. And they just go to people's house and mow their lawn and that's it. They just film themselves mowing it. I guess it's like some type of the visual, but they were fine. So I guess maybe it kind of like
lawnmower
porn.
Yeah.
That's becoming very popular. So maybe they're just filling in the blanks for it.
Yeah, no, I do love a lumbersexual. Yeah. I do. It's kind of bring your
very punny girl.
Yeah, like Leif Erikson. Come on.
It'll be like this one time at band camp.
Such a pleasure to be able to sit with women like yourself, Cree, Tracy Ellis Ross, and then
Another
you
Scorpio.
mentioned, another increasingly amount of women online who are claiming this for themselves. I sat with this sociologist who came up with this term called single at heart, which essentially stated people who, to the point that you made about a love life, right? We have in our North American society a very linear idea of what it means to have a love life. But you can talk to many people who have a very fulfilling romantic love life who still feel very lonely. And I'll raise my hand on that one. I felt very lonely within a nuclear family. And then I had to start asking myself, what happened to my friends? What happened to my family? What happened to going to the grocery store and just talking to people? I was mentioning, I just came back from St. Louis, and I just make it my devotion whenever I'm out of the house to be genuinely with people because I want a love life.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have one of those pieces, I would still consider my life to be filled with love because the intention is there. Just like if I didn't have a romantic partner, I would still consider myself to have a love life. So do you think that there is something to that with more women claiming that they have a love life that is fulfilling and satisfying, that doesn't need a partner to it? Is that what you're claiming?
To your point about, our thinking about love lives in a linear fashion, I think that is kind of dissolving that attitude. And people are starting to understand that they are not beholden to strict rules and like boxes and stuff like that. One of my favorite relationships that I had was, it was maybe about a year after my mom passed away, maybe like a year and a half, somewhere in there. We could talk about, shoot, if he was dating somebody else, like he could have that kind of conversation with me. And it did not faze me because I was not looking to make him anything more than who he told me he wanted me to be for him. And I really wasn't looking for anything else because I was still reeling.
Yes.
In
grief.
And it was just perfect. Perfect timing, perfect person, perfect length of time. We're still very good friends. He's in a relationship now. I wish him all the best. He's still one of my favorite people on this planet. Taught me a lot about just how important transparency is and not to be afraid.
So when I tell you guys never to lie to these chicks, if you out here running a rotation, I tell you always tell them the truth, let them know what time it is. That's why. That's why. Let her choose. More often than not, a woman would choose to be with you, even though you still got the rotation going. Hey, I got somebody else. You number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. Don't tell her she's number 6. Always let her think she's number 2, even though the rotation might be 6 deep. Well, I got a few that I'm messing with, but you're like my number 2. Right? Because they're going to see you with number 1. Number 1 is the person you out with. Y'all kicking it the most. So they're going to see you with number 1. So let her know she's number 2. You're not going to have any drama. She just proved it right there. So don't lie to women. You ain't got to lie to them. And then she's talking about this guy. Here's the thing. She's like, yeah, he's in a relationship now. We still cool. Now we still friends. And I wish him the best. And I want him to have the most fulfilling relationship ever. Right. So this dude gets to circle back. He gets to circle back. Right. Whenever he can circle back. This dude's spinning the block on her and a bunch of others. All those women, Tracy Ross and all them other, like Sanaa Latham and all the rest of them, get the circle back. That's how you run it if you want to run a game like that. But here's the thing, like if you out here and I'll let you know, sure. And I told this Fresh, I was like, Fresh, one day you're going to get tired of running through these chicks. One day it's going to happen. Very few guys can just run their rotation until they die. Very few guys. Most dudes are going to get tired of it, right? Because you see the emptiness of it, right? It's like, and even if you're a dude, your game on point, it ain't even transactional. Like all they're getting out of you is maybe some free drinks and a dinner here and there. But mostly what they're getting from you is that joystick. You just, what did 50 say? You got the magic stick. Anything you hit once, you can hit twice. But you're going to get tired of that. I told Fresh, you're going to get tired of that. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but Fresh was in the hospital recently, man. I even reached out to him, man. He's all right. He's doing all right. I had to reach out to him, man. Like I said, man, Fresh is good people, bro. When I saw that, like, dude, was something going on. I didn't ask him what exactly it was. probably got a hold of some bad Foxy Brown, but I didn't want to, you know what I mean? But yeah, he did hit me back, so he's all right. But you're gonna get tired of running through these chicks at some point, man. You're gonna want to slow it down. And it goes for women too. These older women who are single, they're like, I don't want nobody in my life. But when they get ready, they want somebody to smash. When they're looking for that, they can get it. They snap their fingers and they can get it. And she says she's an incel, right? Going back to what she just said, she's an incel, but she's sitting here talking about the guy she let circle back and smash. Which is it, baby?
Of transparency, because I think that a lot of people are, not exactly. You could be in a relationship with somebody for 20 years and they don't really actually know you.
Yeah.
But there's certain relationships where you see people and you're like, you see that the mask is off with those two.
It's probably a complicated question to answer, but it happened relatively recently because you mentioned after your mom passed.
Mm-hmm.
So within the last 5 years, that's when you've started this amazing relationship with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a key thing that you switched or a moment you can bring me into that really explains how you did it?
I think two things. In 2022, I was introduced to microdosing psilocybin. I was severely depressed. And, I've been diagnosed with major depressive disorder.
Houston, we have a problem.
And my mom's death really was, it changed me. It was like a meteor hit my world, my earth. And I just wasn't doing very well. And I still had like ideas about antidepressants that I just couldn't do it. Yeah.
There it is. Let women talk, man. It's all gonna come out, bro. Trauma, emotional damage. We all have it. We all got that damage, bro. But the older we get, the more we carry. So I'm not even trying to throw shade or talk shit to this sister right now. I'm not, because I get it. It's tough. But I'm here to tell you, when you dealing with these sort of things, it's way better to go through it with someone who loves you, someone that's been there with you, someone you know that's in it to win it with you, especially for women. Men, we could tough it out. As a guy, like, man, I could tough it out, man. But as a woman, you want that. And she was right there, bro. She had all these guys, all these dudes. That's part of the trauma. Like, you had these dudes that wanted to be with you. These dudes, you could have had that life, and you said no. You shut the door on it. You slammed the door, thinking there's gonna be another floor to the husband's store. Eventually, you run out of stores. Eventually, you run out of options. You ran out of options. Now what? Now what? And you still got this shit going on, which you know what I'm saying, hypergamy, just pushing you. But this is why you let women talk, fellas. She's giving us all the game.
I was too scared. And then a couple of friends talked to me about microdosing, and I was a little intimidated by it, but I started, doing that with therapy. And that really worked.
Microdosing what? What are they hey, fellas, tell me in the chat, what microdosing what?
So that would be one thing. And then just through intense therapy as years went on, my sense of dignity, my sense of dignity grew. I've never really thought much about it. I never used the word to describe myself.
It'll be like this one time at band
very
camp.
articulate, as Canadian girls, but I've used many words to describe myself, but I've never used the word dignity. And it was when my dignity was challenged that I realized that how important it was and how fiercely I need to guard it, because in dignity, you find self-love.
Does she know how bad this sounds? What moment were you at? Like, were you standing there, you know what I'm saying, with a ball gag, wearing a leather clown outfit about to put a gerbil up your butt, and that's when he hit you? That's when your dignity came into the picture? Like, what are we talking about here? This is why, man. It was the reason she didn't lock down any of these dudes. I thought that maybe she believed that she was better than these guys, but no, I'm starting to believe now that she didn't believe that she was worthy to be happy and to win the game. That's what I'm thinking now. I'm no professional. I'm just thinking, if y'all watching this on Team Replay, let me know what y'all think. Dignity? Yeah, Cody, you right, bro. She was out here doing it. And here's the thing, no crazy tattoos. She doesn't have the crazy long talons, right? She's not wearing the crazy long Venus flytrap eyelashes, right? No crazy weave. I mean, she might have something in there, but it don't look crazy. This would be the woman that I would run into if I'm in a Hollywood event, or if I'm in Miami somewhere, somebody's party, if I'm in New York at a function. I'm gonna go talk to this sister, like, oh, what's going on? She looked normal. And she's talking about you get to hear all the problems. And this is a big thing, especially, and she had these issues when she was young. So what was she doing? Dignity? Wow.
You find it right there. That is where you are like mama bear for yourself, mama bear for the inner child. Now I stand tall. I stand tall with my feet firmly planted on the ground and just know exactly who I am. And there's nothing anyone can tell me. And
it's like, yeah, I'm not putting a gerbil in my butt anymore. I can stand tall.
Anymore about who they think I am.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's such a great close for me too, because my last question for you, I'm very obsessed with representation and relationship styles and labels. And labels, not because I want to confine people to something, but because I want people to know that there's tons of options. And labels create community. They create a sense of belonging. And then also it gives us a framework of someone else to point to, which even then you wouldn't subscribe to the ritual of panic. And so there's a label that's kind of coming up for where you're at that is becoming increasingly more common. And I mentioned this too, like I am very much in the algorithm of seeing all of the think pieces and the Washington Post pieces around like, do we need men anymore? I need my man. He's the best. That's my lover. That's my light. But I know so many incredible women who are adopting this and feeling this and having a love life and being super proud of themselves. And maybe they're not necessarily asexual or closed off to the idea, but they're also not searching for it. And that sense of dignity being kind of the grounding principle that informs whether or not they even allow something to take up their time, because they have many other things that they love that their time is filled with. What do you think we say? Like, what is that? What is this new form of relationships that is coming about? And how would you identify where you're at right now?
That's interesting. I was just in Tulum the other day. The other day meaning like a few weeks ago.
Tulum.
And I found myself in this huge community of expats, women of color who have basically left the US and their primary residence is Tulum.
Love that for them.
Oh, child.
Passport
their
chicks.
lives are
Chicks.
lit. Okay? Like one of my girlfriends, Tamiko, she rolls around on a pink ATV. Like that's her primary source of transportation. And, it's just like they've curated the lives that they want for themselves. They were in the rat race here in America. They had the big houses, fancy cars, marriage, kids, the whole nine. And they were like, this is not fulfilling. This ain't it. And they just basically started the slow progression towards this being their lives. And now they're all there. And I was just like, I want to come. I got to figure this out, how I can be here regularly. And I just thought it was like so incredible to just watch, and I also had a retreat in Mexico back in September. And just to watch these women who most of them were strangers to each other just kind of come together. My God, when women get together, we can change weather systems. We're very powerful. That's what they're scared of. And I think that what's happening is collectively, women are starting to truly understand what community actually feels like. Not just your friend group, not just your social circle, what community actually means for us, you know? And you see it happening where women are like creating like tiny home communities for each other, taking care of each other, like, palliative care and that sort of thing. Like, I don't know what the name is, but I just know that the focus has shifted, and it's the decentering of men. That's really what it is on a large scale. Women have decentered men and really started to focus and enjoy their lives without feeling like there's a penance for it, or you're gonna get the lonely cat lady labeled. Shit, don't threaten me with a good time. I want a house full of fucking cats
or emus.
Bro, Tyrone is right. Cope communities. That's exactly what she just described.
Emus, you know what I mean? But I think that women are really leaning into decentering men and realizing their worlds don't fall apart, that actually they become pretty fantastic. Men might actually be the accessory and not the centerpiece. I think that we're collectively kind of discovering that.
I'm like I'm not a very good historian, but after this, I'll definitely look, because I'm like, is it Cleopatraing? Because Cleopatra had lovers, and her legacy wasn't her love life. It was a part of the story. But
I think that would be a great one.
Or is it Prince Anning? Prince Anne was one of Henry VIII's, or Queen Anne, sorry, put some respect on it, baby. Or Queen Elizabeth. But there is something there.
There seems like there's a little bit more agency, personal agency and autonomy there. Yeah, like, I'll take you tonight and you can fan me and you give me some grapes.
But I got an early morning because I got things to do, a kingdom to run. Let's wrap this up.
I gotta move down the Nile and ruin a few people's lives.
Woo! Are you the villain?
Oh, never. No, and nobody. Okay, that's a lie. I'm sure in a few people's story I'm the villain, but I'm Canadian. I'm nice in my DNA.
I did hear you had an out or an about. Something slipped in there.
Sometimes it creeps out.
Yeah, I have that too.
Yes.
I'll say house and I'm like, yeah. I know. Okay, well, in closing, I just want to ask what's lighting you up right now that you want to have everybody else come share in right now. I know you have a podcast. You're here in town right now because you're nominated for an NAACP. Yeah. Where can people go learn more about you? And what do you want to share with them right now?
You can find me on my Instagram page, Melissa Ford, MELYSSAFORD. My podcast is called Hot and Bothered with Melissa Ford. Like Shan said, we are nominated for an NAACP award, which is dreams come true, but manifestations, really manifestations. I manifested all of it. I was telling my EP Rachel in the beginning when we were doing the podcast, she was like, oh my God, this is gonna be so exciting. I was like, yeah. I was like, we're gonna win awards. The jewel in the crown is gonna be retreats. Watch what happens. Everything has happened. And actually I'm in the process of writing a book to honor my mom. The 6 days that I spent with her on her deathbed. That's going to be the meat and potatoes of the book, because she chose medical assistance in dying. And I think that is a very controversial topic right now. And I want to honor my mother, but I also want to promote my advocacy for it, because I'm a huge, advocate for autonomy. And as women, our rights are just being stripped away. So this is just, I think that it's a privilege to have the choice to choose how you leave this world, and return to source.
What a dignified send off. It's so beautiful for you to do that for her.
My mom was the strongest human I've ever met in my life. Just the strongest. Complicated relationship, mothers and daughters. But wow. Yeah.
I wish I could have interviewed her because I got a Scorpio daughter too. So I'm sure she could teach me some things, and I'd be very proud to have a daughter like you one day. So shout out to your mama.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, girl. Can I just say a big thank you?
Okay. All right. Shout out to Shan. You know what I mean? She's doing her thing. Shout out to Melissa. But that last part, bro. You know, the cope communities manifest. You can manifest everything but a husband and a family and a traditional life. Like, you really dislike it. You hate that idea so much you couldn't manifest that, but you can manifest everything else. Come on now. Come on now. And here's the thing. I've seen my share of women, boss babes, talking like Miss Melissa was just talking right there. And then they'll meet a guy, and then 6 months later, you'll see her with a ring on her finger, can't stop smiling, talking about how she loves this man so much. And you ask her about, what about that community over there? I don't need the cope community no more. I got my man. Which that's what I want to see. You know what I mean? That's the part I want to see. I want to see you get that guy. I want to see you get that happiness, man. The thing about, you know, meeting someone and being with someone, bro, even if you only have it for a couple of days or a week, like, you really let your emotions loose, man, and you dealing with a woman who's into you and you into her, man, that's amazing. You only get it for a day, only get it for a minute. I think it's worth it. But you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, fellas. Be careful with your emotions. Be careful with your emotions. How many dudes let their emotions out dealing with Miss Melissa and got wrecked for it? How many? How many? I mean, she basically told on herself, man. She gave all the game out there, man. She's like, I'm crazy. And microdosing, yeah, y'all right. Because when she said it, I was thinking, she talking about mushrooms? Because that's what you hear about in LA. That's what they do. They do the shrooms, bro. The microdosing and all that. Dudes be like, hey, man, got some shrooms. You want to do these shrooms with me? Hell nah, Billy, I don't want to do no shrooms. You ain't going to have me screaming into a fan on that. You ain't going to have me doing that for 15 hours. You know what I mean? Find me sleeping in the dog crate. No, I'll pass. Like, if you got some good green, we could do that, but I will pass on the mushrooms, bro. I am not trying to go to the spirit world. You know what I mean? They got that, the peyote or whatever, that peyote, whatever it's called, that peyote. They'll be going down to the Amazon. You won't go down. I know this shaman. We'll go down to the Amazon. We'll go to the spirit world. We won't go talk to the Anunnaki. I do not. Not right now. I do not want to go talk to the Anunnaki, bro. You're not going to have me riding a horse talking about the size of these chickens. You see the size of that chicken? How come they ain't trying to kill us? We in the spirit world. Ain't that movie. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they do be talking like that too, Cody. They be trying to get you like, I am not doing it, bro. Not getting me on those shrooms. Sorry. Not even one time. But like, it's like, that's what you got to do to quell the demons that you dealing with. Damn. But here's the thing about little shorty though. Right there at the end, she lets you know she's still out there. She see a young guy that she's into, man, she gonna let him smash. Some young boy don't know no better. Some brokey. Some dude is out there, man. She's still doing her thing. She's still doing her thing. You probably, if you deal with a woman like that, man, you can't even love her, bro. This is why you have to protect your emotions. It ain't her. And I'm not trying to knock her. There are a lot of women out there, man. They've gone the distance. They fought their war, so to speak. They all got to stare, bro. They all got to stare. They won't let you love them because they believe they're not worthy of the love. You got to do so much work to get there. And then once you finally get to the vulnerable side of them, man, they'll go completely crazy on you. And then you got to still stay there. You know what I mean? It's like doing an exorcism or something. And then when it's all over, either she's going to love you or she'll just appreciate what you did and leave you anyway. So this is why y'all got to hold on to. Hold on, man. Like, guard your emotions, man. Guard your emotions. But hey, man, that was that's what happens, man. That's what happens when you follow that feminist dream. And there's nothing wrong. That's what you want to do, ladies. But man, like when I go out here and talk to young ladies, and I'm trying to line up interviews. I want to do on this platform what she just did there. I want to once a quarter line up a good interview. I'm working on it, guys. It's hard to get people to commit. Then they commit and then they flake on you. I want to start lining up interviews. And if I get a chance to talk to some young women, I'll let them know, like, and show them this. Like, watch this interview. This could be your future. Is that what you really want? Or do you want to get married to Sean? Does you and Sean on each other forever? Y'all together. You want to marry him because he loves you. He's going to do everything for you. But Sean ain't making 6 figures. Like, neither are you. But if y'all work together, maybe y'all can conquer this world, make enough money that you need to make, and be happy. You know, that's what I tell these young girls. Like, yo, don't, you want to chase this dream of being the boss baby and getting this bread. So you making your own money, you making 150,000, 200,000, wherever you're making. But then now Sean ain't good enough for you. He was good enough for you in college. He was good enough for you in high school, but now he ain't good enough for you because he's only making $95,000 a year. But he loves you more than life. And you love him. But he ain't making enough money for you. So you're going to go with this asshole dude over here? All right. You know what I mean? All right. This is going to be you. You're going to go over there to the Hope community, the Cope community, and be over there with, Miss Melissa and her friends. Crazy, man. But that's it, man. That's it. I just wanted to throw that out there, man. Thanks for rocking out with me on a Saturday. I'm actually home because my daughter stayed home. She didn't go. We didn't do the co-parenting thing. It's when you co-parent, you get to a point where the kids actually call the shots. They'll tell you where they want to go. And that's where we are right now. That's like the final phase, like right before they grow up. Like my daughter's 17. She got one more year. So she's calling the shots. Like, you going? She's like, yeah, we're going to go. And then she came out, no, I'm going to stay. So otherwise, I had plans, a couple places I wanted to check out. Still got to do some networking. But hopefully by summer, we'll get the first interview off the ground. And what I'll do is I'll probably shoot 2 interviews up first and just release them, 1 a quarter. So that's just 4 a year. We'll start there. And hopefully I'll be able to get some good interviews. Ebony K. Williams is a really good friend of one of my people. And he told me 2 years ago now, like, hey man, I can get Ebony to agree to an interview, but I just don't want to do a split screen. I want to do sitting down, and I ain't trying to go like he was like, and at the time he was living in New York, and I was like, I don't want to go to New York and do it, but might have to, we can get it to come down to Miami. Maybe get it to come down here. But I appreciate y'all rocking out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you're watching this on Team Replay, please hit that like, subscribe, share button. Send this to somebody that you think might benefit from it. Don't be afraid to comment. Say what you want to say. Be respectful. If you make a comment and it gets removed, understand that's YouTube, not me. I don't remove any comments. If it gets removed, that's YouTube. It's not me. I just want y'all to know that. Man, that was wild. That was wild. And it's a lot of women out there, man, successful women who were beautiful. And man, this is what happens when you hit the wall. And yeah, dudes, we hit the wall too. Everybody, the wall comes for everybody. The wall is undefeated. Right. But man, that blew my mind. I'm gonna have to go sit down and let that settle. Let that video settle, man. Appreciate y'all rocking out with me, man. Y'all know what it is. I'm DL Saint. This is I Really Want to Know podcast, man. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what time, but tomorrow we'll be talking about some finance stuff. Y'all know I love talking about the housing market down here in Florida. There's a couple videos I want you guys to see. And then even Fox News is talking about the housing market, and there's like people who cannot sell their homes right now, and they're giving their reasons why. And bro, I just give y'all a preview. The reason people can't sell their houses right now is because the housing market is corrected and people are asking too much for their homes. That's the bottom line. And here's the problem. Those houses are going to go no matter what. So either if you're in a situation where you got to sell it at a loss, or the bank is going to take it from you. So figure that out. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. So I'll see y'all then. Have a good night, man. Take care of yourself, man. Take care of your family. I'm DL Saint. This is I Really Want to Know podcast. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.
Thanks for watching. We really appreciate your support. And if you like that video, check out this one or maybe that one. We'll see you around. Peace.